Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. We are here with episode 33 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. We are at the start of the year 8, I believe, playoffs. And we finished last season with, I think, a franchise record 55, 23, and 4 record. We're taking on the San Jose Sharks here to start it off. But before we look at their lines, let's get to the comments of the last one. And Alexander starts us off strong by giving us 3 thoughts heading into the playoffs. Number 1, now that the regular season is over and every team is starting from a leveled playing field, we should ice our best lineup. So put Costin in those lines instead of Protest or Holloway, but not necessarily Iorio. And I'm going to go and do that real quick. Number 2, he says, just like Wallstedt in net, the forward court shouldn't be touched at all after Costin gets in my opinion. So yeah, I think these are the lines that we're going to run with, unless we're facing elimination, getting destroyed like 3-0 by San Jose, something like that. Then maybe we can look to switch up the lines, but for right now, these are going to be them. And then number 3, if we struggle defensively, the first move should be to bring Corbin Mills up to the first pair and Stempniak up to the second pair, give those younger guys a little bit more ice time and see if they can grow a little bit. Also give them a bit more responsibility, and then have Morrissey carrying that third pair. And that, I think, is exactly what we will be doing. He then gives a little bit of a concern here where basically saying that, by not picking up a stronger defenseman at the trade deadline, we're kind of leaving Stempniak out to dry. Iorio, he's okay. He's got decent defense and physical, but everywhere else he's basically a liability. And Walker had good chemistry with Stempniak, but a 78 overall is not really the best down there. And as for that, I say those are totally fair points. But Chernak wasn't on the block, who Alex suggested, and there really wasn't anybody else that great on the block either. We saw at the trade deadline it was a pretty barren trade deadline, not many moves happening out there, and so I figured a depth move in case of injuries or just a small shakeup would be more than fine for us. So those are Alex's 3 suggestions. Then we get to some stats here, because I asked us to keep track of some stats going basically between the first half of the season and the second half of the season, and Alex definitely did that for us. So after moving Kennedy to the right wing 1 and Mills to the power play 1, the team went 38-2. That's on pace for 60 wins because we had played 42 wins in the first video, so we only played 40 in the second one, so we were on pace for 61 wins. Then he gives us some stats. So Kennedy had 17 goals and 35 points in 40 games, and Perfetti had 45 points in 36 games. So those two are going to be a dynamic duo going forward. Number 2, Elliot Patrick scored 25 goals in 40 games, while old reliable Matt Svensson scored 40 points in 40 games. He's not old, but he's just very reliable, So those two are also going to be tied to the hip, with Melvin Parker or Kyle Connor switching it up when the overalls drop and things like that. Now, Wallstedt, was very interesting. It didn't feel like this, but Wallstedt played at a .919 save percentage before getting injured. Before that, I think he was maybe below 900 save percentage in the first half of the season, so brought his save percentage up to 909, which is very nice. And then we have the storyline of Corbin Mills and Liam Karlsson. So Corbin Mills scored 14 points in 40 games. In the first half of the season, he scored 4 points in 42 games, so he definitely brought it back in that second half of the season, playing power play 1, which was the same pace as the offensive defenseman Liam Karlsson over in Seattle, right? Yeah, Seattle. So something to be happy with is Corbin Mills is progressing nicely. And then lastly, another parallel here between Liam Karlsson and one of our players is in Liam Karlsson's rookie season, he only had 1 more point than the two-way defenseman Stempniak, and Liam Karlsson was playing on the second line of our defensive pairing. Stempniak was playing on our third line with no power play time as well. So Stempniak put up a pretty good rookie season compared with Liam Karlsson there. So going into the playoffs, this is what our team is going to look like. So it's going to look the exact same as the regular season. I'll just let you guys take a look at it. But except the fourth line, we're going to go throw Klim Kostin in there. The defense is going to be looking the same as well to start, right? Again, I can definitely move Corbin Mills up to the top. I can move Stempniak up here. You know, there's a bunch of things that we can do, but we're going to start off with the lines that got us here for the most part. Yeah, Wallstedt is back, so good thing that I checked this before I went and threw Connor Hellebuck in there to start off game number one. That could have been disastrous, so good thing that I went and did that. Another little comment was to check out the contracts screen here, just to see what everybody's asking for. So Zach Werenski, I forgot that he had his deal. He's asking for 11.4 mil. Yikes! I totally forgot about Zach Werenski. So that's a tough one. 11 mil for him. Nikolai Ehlers is asking for 2 years, 5.85 mil. That's quite reasonable for Nikolai Ehlers. Philip Tomasino is asking for 5.4. 5.4 mil for somebody who put up, what, like 46 points? A bit steep, but not the end of the world by any means. And that's pretty much it. So we have the cap space, I think, to bring everybody back if we want to. It's just a matter of, do we want to? In goal, we have Jesper Wallstedt. Hopefully he won't want too much. 6.375 doesn't seem that unreasonable, actually. We could go like 4 years, 3 years, probably 6 mil or so, maybe a little bit less, maybe 5.9, something like that. Doesn't seem too unreasonable whatsoever for Jesper Wallstedt. So that's 6 mil there. On defense, he wants like, what, 11 million, was it? Something crazy like that. Yeah, 11 mil. So that puts us up to $17 million. So we still have another $18 million left for Ehlers and Tomasino if we want to bring them back. Ehlers wanted 6 mil, say. Yeah, so that's okay. And then Tomasino wanted 5.4. Yeah, so we have the money for it for sure. Just a matter of who do we want to bring back and who do we want to keep away. I'm like Klim Kostin, not sure if he's going to be coming back next year. Alexei Protas, he probably can, and he's going to take a bit of a discount as well, so that could be nice. But either way, boys, one last thing that we have to do is check the lines of the team that we are going to be facing, the San Jose Sharks. So let me do that very, very quickly. We checked them in the last episode, but now, just to refresh your memories, if you didn't see it, Ryan Rubrick, William Eklund, and William Nylander. So 2 Williams on that first line, and they are going to be an offensive powerhouse. It's something that we definitely have to watch out for. Rubrick, the sniper, alongside of 2 playmakers, that's a pretty scary line. Now, their second line is also quite strong. They've got Cam Arson here with Jordan Gavin and Oscar Olason, who was a trade deadline acquisition. This second line did quite well in the regular season. Arson only had 50 points, but when Olason came into the lineup, he was above point per game, so he definitely helped those guys out quite a bit. And then the third and the fourth line, they can get some scoring from, but mostly just normal depth two-way type guys, you know, all these two-way forwards down here. Actually, the second line a bit more of a scoring line, or sorry, the third line a bit more of a scoring line, but that fourth line not too worried about it. On defense, they have a crazy tandem. Aaron Kiwi-Haru alongside of Sam Dickinson, 2 very early draft picks, 5th round pick in 2024 and 3rd round pick in 2024. So they had the 3rd and the 5th pick of the same year. These two guys are, you know, headlining their blue line for, I mean, probably the next 10-15 years. So good for them. After that, though, nothing too intimidating. Siegenthaler, Barron is okay. And then Niemela and Ronnie Attard is also okay. But again, these two guys, but then after that, nothing too crazy. And then in goal, Ville Husso we have to contend with. So boys, you will notice before we start this one up that this video is about an hour and 45 minutes in length, give or take 15 minutes or so. And that is because I don't want you guys to be spoiled. You know, if you guys clicked on this video and it was like a 20-minute playoff video, you'd be like, okay, well, I know he's not going to make it. Why do I even bother to get excited? But the way that I do it, we make them super long so that you guys can think that we've won the Stanley Cup. Even if we haven't, you know, we've won the Stanley Cup in this series already, and it was basically the same length, if not shorter than some of the other ones. So you never know if we are going to win it all. So get excited, get your popcorn, get something to drink. have a party, whatever it is, and let's go through this playoff run. Starting against the San Jose Sharks, we're going to take them to town here, the Whiteout in Canada Life Center. Let's get this show on the road, boys. I'm looking at the big boys. I'm looking at the Melvin Barkers. I'm looking at the Sam Kennedys. I'm looking at all these guys. So here we go. First period, and the San Jose Sharks are going to get it started with Aaron Kiviharu scoring on Jesper Wallstedt. The second goal, though, is going to go to Elliot Patrick before, of course, 80 overall. Topi Niemela, or however you say his name, scores the second of the night. It's okay, boys. It's the first period. Get the jitters out, and now let's come back strong in the second. Here we go. Second period, and there we go. We tie it up. It's Joel Shepherd scoring on Ville Husso. A rare goal from Joel Shepherd, but I'm not going to be complaining about that whatsoever. And then our short-handed kill. Look at that. Klim Kostin gets thrown into the lineup, and he scores a shorty in his first game in the Winnipeg Jet colors in the playoffs. That's beautiful. William Nylander ties us up at 3. Now a long extended power play for us, and Kyle Connor scores just after to give us a 1-goal lead. Can Wallstedt shut the door now? Can Wallstedt close it out? I desperately need him to. 1 minute remaining, and yes, he can. Thank goodness, boys. That was a roller coaster of a game, but a win for us nonetheless, and I'm very excited to see that. The 3 stars of the night are Joel Shepherd with 2 points, Cole Perfetti with 2 assists, and William Eklund with 3 assists. All right, so let's hope that we can continue that pace. If we can score on these guys, that would be great because, I'm always worried that those 290 overall defensemen are going to be able to shut us down. But if we can score 4 goals on these guys consistently, that would be a gem. So getting to the next game now. Here we are. First period. Let's have a good one here, boys. Let's not get down early. First period. That's 2-0 for us. It's Melvin Barker and it's Matt Svensson. That second line is tearing it up for us so far. Beautiful to see. Good stuff from Wallstedt in that one as well as we get to the second period now. And that's 4-2 for us. Cole Perfetti makes it a 3-goal lead. Kyle Connor made it a 4-goal lead before Cam Arson scores 1. And then Aaron Kiviharu scores another 1. And now we're only up by 2. People say it's the worst lead in hockey. Sean Walker, though, he's going to get 1 to give us a 3-goal lead now on Ville Husso, and we are able to find the back of the net against the San Jose Sharks team, which is very, very nice to see. Let's continue this, and I'm liking this game from Wallstedt as well. The first game was a little bit shaky from him, but he's come back, and he's shown that he can be a good goaltender here. 2 goals on 24 shots. That is quite a respectable game from him. The 3 stars of the night, Svensson with 3 points, Morrissey with 3 points, Cole Perfetti with 1 goal, and we are just going to keep it moving, boys. Going to the next game now in front of those San Jose Shark fans. We are at the SAP Center in San Jose. Let's look at the rest of the league real quick. What do we've got? In the East, we've got a couple series. The Battle of New York's tied at 1. Florida and Buffalo, okay, tied at 1. Montreal over Boston, original 6 matchup, and then Carolina over Tampa. Out in the West, the Avs and the Preds, they're tied at 1. That's to be expected after the crazy seasons that both of them have. All right, sorry about that, boys. Edmonton and Seattle. Edmonton is beating Seattle 2-0, so Liam Carlson is falling a little bit short there. In Buffalo, they're tied, so Gabriel Velarde is doing his thing over there. But either way, let's get back to this one. In St. Jose, let's go. Why did I say St. Jose? San Jose. Let's get the show on the road. We've got the beaches in front of us, but we've got to be focused on that ice beneath our feet. First period, that goes to San Jose 1-0. It's Jordan Gavin getting his first goal of this series. And why is Connor Hellebuck in the net? Yay, come on. Why is Hellebuck in the net? My goaltender wasn't injured. Oh my god. So disgusting, man. It's so disgusting. Okay. Hellebuck's done it before for us. I don't know why he's in the net, but either way, we've got to trust him. He's had good games before here in recent memory as well. So let's hope that he can continue that and give us a good performance. Let's go offense. We need you now. We need you now. Second period, and that's 2-1 for us. Nice. Philip Tomasino and Dylan Holloway, 2 depth guys, getting some goals on Ville Husso as we enter that third period with a 1-goal lead. But we get a power play. Stupid idiots. Why are you guys taking a power play or a penalty? Another penalty now in the third period. That goes nowhere. Power play for us. That goes nowhere for us, though. 10 minutes remain in this period, and Oscar Olason's going to put a power play goal on Hellebuck. 3 power plays in the third period against us. That's insane, man. 3 minutes remaining. 2 minutes. It's overtime. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the SAP Center in San Jose. And the Winnipeg Jets are trying to take a commanding 3-0 lead, but the San Jose Sharks not trying to let that happen. Ryan Rubrick in alone on a breakaway, saved by... Is Wallstedt in the net now? Yeah, this game makes no sense. It's Kyle Connor to Perfetti. Kyle Connor gets around the bend, over to Sam Kennedy for some reason, instead of just taking that shot. There's Ryan Rubrick off a pass from Sam Dickinson, and Rubrick's in alone. Shot saved by Wallstedt, though, luckily, and Joel Shepard gets that puck in the corner. Sam Kennedy with that puck in the corner. Our first time seeing him. He's number 69 out there. Joel Shepard shot, saved by San Jose. Now Morrissey at the blue line. He's going to lose that puck, but Joel Shepard picks it up. Over to Sam Kennedy, who loses that puck in front of the net. Cam Arson with the puck. Another very young player on this team. They've got a lot of youngsters out there, but Corbin Mills makes a nice defensive play. Now he's going to get into San Jose territory. One-timer from Ehlers. Not too much on that, though, as he might have fanned on the shot. And Husso makes an easy save. Cam Arson with the puck. Arson going to go around the bend, and now to Olesen. Gets stripped of that puck, though, by Aiden Stempniak. Gavin now shot. Saved by Wallstedt. And we've got our third pairing defensively stuck out there in our defensive zone. Luckily, Elliot Patrick going to nudge. I'm not sure who that was off the block. And now there it is, a delayed penalty coming to the Winnipeg Jets. As I'm not sure who it was, but it's a tripping call against the San Jose Sharks. It was Oscar Olesen who made the tripping penalty, and Winnipeg's go into the power play. Corbin Mills, big number 7 out there. I believe he's 6'5" or something like that. He finds Cole Perfetti. He tries to take a toe drag. Oh, hang on. That Ronnie Attard almost put that puck right into his own net. And unfortunately, San Jose will get this puck out. Now Dominic Kubalik in the corner, into the slot. Sam Dickinson takes a shot, and that's going to squeak through Jesper Wallstedt. Wow, a bad goal goes in there. Short-handed as well, so our power play falters in the biggest of moments, and Sam Dickinson gives his team life to make this series 2-1 in favor of the Jets. Alright, so that was a very tough one. I don't know why Hellebuck was in the net in the regular sim, but either way, I'm going to simulate to the next game. I don't have a reason to really change up the lines. I just want to make sure that Hellebuck's not in the net, so I'm just going to go and do that real quick. I don't know why that game does that quite frequently, but it really aggravates me whenever it does. So we're just going to keep checking, make sure that Jesper Wallstedt's in the net. And here we are going to game number 3. We take a look around the league. Montreal's over Boston 3-0. The Rangers over the Islanders. Carolina over Tampa. And then Florida over Buffalo. Out in the West, the Oilers are 3-0 over Seattle. The Avs are over the Preds 2-1. And same thing with Anaheim over the Calgary Flames. So most series are at 2-1. There's a couple here who are 3-0. So let's try to make this a 3-1 series. We don't want to get tied going back on home ice. So we can take one on the road and really take advantage of home ice. That would be beautiful. So let's go. Wallstedt's between the pipes. First period, and that's 0-0 game. Okay, a tight game here. We haven't seen that quite yet. We've seen some pretty high scoring games between these two teams, so a tight one is interesting to see. Second period now, and that's 1-0 in our favor as Zach Werenski gets one past Ville Husso. Shots are almost doubled in our favor, but the only number that matters is that big 1 in the middle of your screen. Never mind, it's a 2 now as Wyatt Johnston, our depth, is coming through here in the third period. 34 shots to 17. We're doubling them, but Ryan Rubrick finds a way past Jesper Wallstedt here now. 5 minutes remain, and the San Jose Sharks are going to be pressing here for the next 3 minutes. But Melvin Barker, though, he takes advantage of their aggression, and he puts one past Ville Husso. Matt Svensson is going to put in the empty netter, and that score looks way worse than it actually was. You may take a look, if you didn't watch that game, you might take a look at that score and think that it was an absolute blowout, but no, that was a very close game all the way up until the end there. The empty netter makes it look worse, as does that late goal from Melvin Barker. So that don't fool yourselves, boys. That was basically a 2-1 game, maybe a 3-1 game. So a pretty close series here so far. We do have a bit of an advantage getting up 3-1 now, going back on our home ice. Edmonton has finished off the Seattle Kraken. Montreal's finished off Boston. Carolina has finished off Tampa. So there's been 3 sweeps in the first round. That seems quite rare. But either way, Svensson is leading us with 6 points as we get back to Winnipeg for game number 5. It is underway here in Winnipeg. Let's start up the first period, and that's 1-0 in favor of San Jose as Matthew Nye scores with 41 seconds. All right, that's okay, boys. We have come back from a 1-goal lead before, so nothing we haven't done already. Second period, let's make it a good one. Second period, yikes. Okay, Hurdle scores. Wyatt Johnston, he brought us back to within 1, but then Siegenthaler and Ryan Rubrick both score on Jesper Wallstedt, and this is a game to forget here, boys. Maybe if we can get an early one, there might be some hope, but a power play goes to San Jose. Hang on, Wyatt Johnston scores his second of the night. There could be hope here if we can get another one. We can definitely make this a game. Can anybody from our offense show up? Kyle Connor, I haven't seen your name in a little bit. I would definitely like to. 5 minutes, though? No, okay. They just shut it down. All right, fair enough. The only line that came to play, it looked like, was the fourth line. Again, don't really need to make any changes. Jesper Wallstedt played fantastic for us. I mean, I'm looking at the wrong line, so I was like, what the heck? How are we +3? Yeah. No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, Wyatt Johnson was a +1. Shane Pinto was a -1-0 for Werenski. Was there any, like, -3s or anything crazy? No, not really. The third line was a minus, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world, I suppose. I mean, obviously, we would like to win that game, but you can't make all the decisions. Wyatt Johnston's our first star. Hurdle and Matthew Nyes are the stars for them. Their third line went to work. Our third line suffered a little bit here, but you can't blame Jesper Wallstedt. He had 42 shots. He made 4 saves. I mean, the guy was doing everything he could. It's definitely not his fault. And, I feel like this is always the case, man. We always, get a lead or we're coming back from 3-1 down or something like that. And, these series, they always go 6 or 7 games, man. I feel like it's real hard to get a sweep in the EA universe, although 3 teams have managed to do it here. The Preds are up against the Avs as well, so whoever wins that series will be our opponent in round 2 if we make it there. Let's not forget, we have to beat San Jose to get there, so let's keep in mind the team in front of us, boys. Game 6 in San Jose. This place is going to be rocking, so let's shut them down early. I want to see an early goal from somebody. I would love it to be Cole Perfetti, but anybody will do. I'm not going to be too picky about it. First period, and that's 1-0 for the San Jose Sharks. What is happening here, boys? Vince Dunn scores on Jesper Wallstedt, and that's not ideal. All right, boys. That's okay. We need one, though. We desperately need one. Let's go. I don't like how we've been simulating the past couple of games here. Second period, that's 1-1. Shane Pinto gets us back and ties us up. And there we go. Now we're dominating in the shots once again. I love to see that. Recently, the last game they outshot us a tremendous amount. So let's get back in on the shooting game. Third period is underway here. 12 minutes remain. So far, nothing going for either team. Both goalies putting on a bit of a clinic right now. But then there's Joel Shepherd, defensive defenseman, and he's going to find a hole. A seeing eye shot goes past Ville Husso, and that is the series clincher. Joel Shepherd, on the first pair, he does everything he can, and he gets a goal for us. And look at that, the third line, they had a bad game in Game 5, but then they step up for us in Game 6. Nikolai Ehlers and Shane Pinto both getting points. Klim Kostin only played 5 minutes, but hey, that's all right. Sean Walker was a +1. Elliot Patrick was a -1. Tomasino was a +2. Yeah, the third line did their thing. Great job, boys. So now, everybody, take a breath. We've made it past the first round. Everybody, we get a little bit of rest. We can watch the rest of these games. We can definitely keep an eye on the Avs and the Preds games specifically here. And that's going to Game 7, the Avs and the Preds. Wow, that's crazy. Also, Florida and Buffalo is going to 7 games. So a couple of Game 7s here in the NHL. We will see who prevails in them as this playoffs is over. And we're going to be facing the Nashville Predators. How did our AHL team do? I believe they're probably out, huh? Yeah, they're out. Okay, well, good try, boys, but the NHL is a tad more important, so let's take a look at Nashville's lines and see what we're up against. Okay, so these lines, I mean, it looks quite fairly similar to San Jose's lines. They've got Tommy Tervanen, Mika Zibanejad, and Daniel Sprong on their first line. Pretty similar to us with, Kyle Connor, Cole Perfetti, and Sam Kennedy, I would give the slight edge to us, but Tommy Turvinen, he was the first overall selection in 2026. What has he done in his career? A 92-point season this year, his breakout year, yeah, a real heavy breakout year for him, playing with Zibanejad, who has 8 points in 7 games. Daniel Sprong has 5 points in 7 games. How has Daniel Sprong been simulating? 84 points? Wow, 84 points the last 2 years. Great for him. 85 points the year before that. So Daniel Sprong is a bona fide point scorer in this universe. Wow, crazy stuff. Second line, Philip Forsberg on the second line is criminal, but hey, I mean, 7 points for him in 7 games. Philip Keetle has 6 points in 7 games, and Aiden Kumitsky, who was a 5th overall selection a couple of years ago, he's got 5 goals, 1 assist. He's a power. Oh no, this is going to be like Jaden Allman all over again. He's got 44 goals in this season. He had 34 last year, 35 the year, or that was in the OHL. So he's had 34 goals and 44 goals in his respective seasons, man. He's got 5 goals in the playoffs. That is scary. I will say the rest of the lineup doesn't look too crazy. It doesn't look like they have any insane depth or anything like that. Clark Caswell's a medium elite who has not quite panned out for them, so that's good for us. Same thing with Vossinar here, who was a 3rd round selection. He's medium elite. He's 25, though he won't grow too much more. And Joakim Kemmel, a very highly touted prospect. I mean, he does have 6 points in 7 games, though, so this 3rd line, let's watch out for them. What about the 3rd line? Yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody in this line is scoring, so that stuff. Okay, but here we go. This is where we can get them on defense. They have nothing back here. Artemi Kniazev. Wait a second. Wasn't Artemi Kniazev a former Winnipeg Jet? Yes, he was. For 2 seasons, he was playing with who was he playing with? Oh my gosh. Who was he playing with? I can't remember. I can picture his face so clearly, but I forget who he was playing with. But either way, he was a pretty good depth player for us, but he is not by any means a first-line defenseman. Maybe they have an injury or something like that. Christian Kyrou is here. Vili Otavainen, Michael Matheson, who was a former Winnipeg Jet as well. So great, we've got 2 former Winnipeg Jets. That's going to be fantastic. Travis Dermott, Nick Blankenberg. I mean, we should dominate this blue line. They have 1 guy over 6'2". Michael Matheson is 6'2", Otavainen is 6'5". I like our odds with them. And then Jussi Saros is only 83 overall now, but he had great numbers. So do they have any injuries? No, they don't. Okay, so this is the lineup. I think they can score the puck for sure, but I think that we can find a way through them. That defensive core does not look great, so not that I like this matchup for us. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't want to say that I think we're going to steamroll them by any means. Nashville, they were a great team in the regular season. They went 48, 28, and 6. They were like the 5th best team in the regular season, so we definitely can't underestimate them. All right, but without further ado, boys, let's start up the round number 2 here up against the Nashville Predators. We are in Winnipeg, as we will be throughout the entirety of the playoffs if we can manage to make it further. We were the President's Trophy winner, so let's try to break that curse that everybody thinks is a thing. Here we go. First period of the second round. Let's get off to a good start here, boys. And, okay, 2-2. Kyle Connor opens up the scoring, but Kumiski, I know this guy's going to be a huge problem for us. He gets a power play goal on Wallstedt. Clark Caswell gives them a 2-1 lead, but then Wyatt Johnston evens things up at 2. All right, boys. Not a bad first period. We can definitely score on these guys, but as I expected, they can also score on us. So let's try to shut down that offense from them in the second here. Let's go, second period. Okay, Sam Kennedy gets a power play goal for us, but then Philip Keetle and Desrosiers, I don't know who that was. I don't even remember seeing that name. He was probably a 4th liner, scoring for the Nashville Predators, and now they are up 4-3. They have 4 goals on 19 shots, which is not ideal. We have 4 goals on 31 as Dylan Holloway chips in for some offense there. Our depth coming alive. A 5-on-3 power play, an extended 5-on-3 power play. Now more, what is going on? They've been on the power play for basically this entirety of the third period. Basically the whole first half of the third period they were on the power play, which is not great. 2.5 minutes. Can we get one late here, boys? Can we get one? No, Daniel Sprong is going to ruin my dreams and get another one past Jesper Wallstedt. So Jesper allows 5 goals on 27 shots, but he's got to hang tough, man. Our 4th line did their thing. Dylan Holloway, Wyatt Johnston, Kyle Connor are your 3 stars of the night. Not going to make any changes to the lineup. These are our lines. We just need the boys to show up for us. Matt Svensson's been a little bit quiet here. That 3rd line, I'd love to see some offense from them. And I'd love to see some goaltending in this game. May 4th in Canada Life Center once again. Come on, Winnipeg. We know the fans are going to be blasting for us. They're going to be cheering so loud, man. That place is going to be rocking here. First period, and it's 1-0 for the Nashville Predators. I do not like how the simulation's going. Shots are in our favor, but again, Nashville has the lead. The same story as the last game. Let's get some offense here, boys. Second period. Okay, Svensson, after I called him out a little bit, he ties us up. Shane Pinto gets us up by 1, but then Zibanejad ties us at 2. Comiskey, of course, his second goal in as many games. He's going to give them a 3-2 lead, and then Nikolai Ehlers ties us up at 3s. Both goalies have allowed 3 goals on 24 shots, and this is not looking like a defensive series in the least, so we've got to hope our offense comes through for us, but a power play goal by Daniel Sprong once again. Will he get the game winner again? No, he will not. Shane Pinto scores on shorthanded, but then these guys have been on the power play for freaking 5 whole minutes, so of course they're going to get another one. It's Comiskey again getting his 3rd goal of the series before Joakim Kemmel gets another power play goal. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to change the shorthanded lines, and I think I am going to change the shorthanded lines because that is 3 power play goals by Nashville to give them a 2-0 series lead. And what happened here? We took Cole Perfetti took a major cross-checking penalty, and then Matt Svensson took a tripping penalty. Oh my goodness. And it allowed them to score a goal. We got a shorty, but then they got another goal. So in that 5 minutes, they got 2 goals. Joakim Kemmel scored on their other power play. What about in the second period? Did we take any penalties here? Yeah, we did. Okay, so we're taking a lot of penalties. In the first period, we didn't take any, but that's not ideal. They had 3 power play goals in this game. So I'm going to have to take a look at those shorthanded lines and get all our best defenders in the lines. 3 stars of the night. It's not going to look pretty. Shane Pinto at least doing his thing. 3 points. Yikes. Tervanen had 4 assists. Comiskey had 2 goals. Oh my goodness. Going to Nashville. I'm tempted to pull out Jesper Wallstedt, but no, he's got a long leash. It's got to be Wallstedt. It's got to be Wallstedt this year. Come on, boys. Okay, boys, so these are going to be the penalty kill lines now. Cole Perfetti, he's got 4.5 star defense. He's got 84 faceoffs. He's got 92 stick checking. I think he can be a great penalty killer. He also has good speed, so let's hope he can get some breakaways for us. Then we're going to go with Shane Pinto. He's a 2-way forward. He's got 3.5 star defense. It's not crazy, but 86 stick checking, 85 defensive awareness. I think it's good enough. Looking at the second unit now, also the D pairings, we're going to go with Zach Werenski and Joel Shepherd. We had Corbin Mills here before, but I mean, we just got lit up, so I had to make some changes, you know. Second line is going to be Wyatt Johnston and Matt Svensson. So Wyatt Johnston, 2-way forward, 3.5 star defense, basically pretty basic penalty killer. But Matt Svensson, he's got 5-star defense as a playmaker. He's not a great skater, but he's got 93 defensive awareness, 87 stick checking. So hopefully that awareness can come into play and help us out. Corbin Mills and Stempniak will be here. I decided to go with Stempniak instead of Josh Morrissey. Josh Morrissey is the offensive defenseman. Maybe that factors into the simulation. I don't really know. Third penalty kill now. We're going to go Sam Kennedy. Sam Kennedy has 5-star defense also. He's got 91 defensive awareness and 90 stick checking. So, and he's a great skater. So hopefully he can get some breakaways for us there. Yeah, I think this is just a good pick. A 5-star defender. That's pretty good for us. And then Klim Kostin, he scored a shorthanded goal, so we're going to keep him here and see if he can do it again for us. A power forward as well. Maybe not the best decision because he's going to get penalty minutes, but he only has 2 in 8 games. So yeah, I think that's totally fine with Klim Kostin there, boys. Looking even strength, I'm not going to make any changes, but this is quite troublesome. Our first line is minus. Kyle Connor's -5, Cole Perfetti's -3, Sam Kennedy's -6, and they all have quite a bit of penalty minutes as well. I mean, Cole Perfetti has 7 penalty minutes, Sam Kennedy has 6 penalty minutes. But then we look at our second line, they're plus, they're plus, they're plus. Third line, Nikolai Ehlers is plus, so is Shane Pinto, and so is Philip Tomasino. And then the fourth line is even plus as well. So it's really strange that our first line is the line that's dragging us down. So we've just got to hope that they can figure it out. Defensively, I might make some changes here. Corbin Mills and Josh Morrissey are doing good. So is that third line. But the first line is struggling. So I'm going to make a change. You know what? We're going to go Corbin Mills up to the top. Zach Werenski is going to stay here. Joel Shepherd and Josh Morrissey will play the second line together. Stempniak and Walker, though, are doing great things. I'm going to keep them together. And let's see if those changes do anything, though. The offense looks the same, but the defense and the penalty kill is changed for this first game here in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena. let's do this, boys. I need a big period out of us. Lines have been shaken up just a little bit, and let's show them what we're made of here in Nashville, the Music City. First period, 0-0, but we're outshooting them drastically. Not drastically, but we're outshooting them once again. This is a theme that has been going on here. Second period, let's do this, boys. Second period, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Sean Walker and Kyle Connor finds to that first line. I knew they would come through for us, and they did just that. Great second period, boys, and now let's shut it down in the third. Jesper Wallstedt, I'm looking at you. Oh, of course, former Winnipeg Jet Michael Matheson blasts one past Jesper Wallstedt from the point. See, we don't get any goals on that power play, but at least we kill off some time. Another power play goes our way, and another time we don't get any goals there. I'm not liking that. We haven't seen a power play goal in quite a little bit here, but it's a very good game from the Winnipeg Jets. Basically a 3-1 win. Melvin Barker gets that fourth on the empty net, but a big game from us. Jesper Wallstedt has a bounce-back game. Kyle Connor and Cole Perfetti, the first line, they also have a bounce-back game, and if they can get their feet under them, we definitely have a chance. Oh, no. Ugh. And as soon as things are going so well, Zach Werenski's injured with back spasms. Yikes. Okay, so what's the change here? Well, I guess we go with Morrissey back up to that line. We'll go Stempniak up to the second line, and then we'll throw in Vinny Iorio onto the defense, I guess, right? I guess we have to, huh? Okay, power play, I will have... So we have Corbin Mills. We can get a little fancy here. We could go with... we could go with Wyatt Johnston. We could also go with Philip Tomasino. We could go with Joel Shepherd, but I don't want a defenseman there. Let's go Philip Tomasino, because everybody else is being used, right? Yeah, everybody important is being used, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's go with Tomasino. We could also, I suppose we could also even like stack the lines. I could go with Sam Kennedy again, actually. Oh, okay, I kind of like that. But Sam Kennedy, what's he been doing for me? Oh, of course I can't see from here. 1 goal, 4 assists, -1. You know what? I'm going to go with Kyle Connor, I think. We're going to give Kyle Connor more time. We're going to swap them over like this. And that's how I'm going to do this. Yeah, I think it's not something I do often, but in the playoffs, you get extra time. So we'll do that. Let me just take a look at the penalty kill now and make sure, yeah, Iorio's not getting to the first line. This will be Corbin Mills instead. See, now that injury just messes up all my lines. I have to change them all. Not only do I have to change them all, though, the bigger problem is we had a great game with those lines when I made those changes, and then after that, of course, I have to revert back to the lines that we had before. It's just really tough, and this game is lagging so much, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is what the defense are going to look like. Morrissey, Mills, Shepherd, Stempniak, Iorio, Walker. Let's do this, boys. Game 4. Let's hope that Zach Werenski can come back soon, because good Lord, we need him. He's an integral part to this defensive core, and him being out is definitely hurting us. But we had a great game. We got to win without him now, though. We've got to win without him. They don't have anybody on their blue line, so I don't want any excuses. We still have an 88, an 85, and something. I don't know what else we have. We've got some other good players. Well, an 89. We have an 88, 89, and 85 in our top 3. They have like 80s and 78, so we should still be okay. First period, it goes to Nashville. Of course it does. Of course it does. Philip Forsberg and Dorier. All right. Not a good first period. Wallstedt, I need you to lock it down. Defense, I guess Werenski was a real big deal, huh? That's a big blow to us. Yeah, that's tough. So I need the offense to come through. Here we go. Second period, what am I saying? But it works for us. The first period cheese works. Kyle Connor and Elliot Patrick tie us up at 2s. As the third period commences, we are drastically outshooting them. We're up by 10 in the shot category. Power play our way, and that's going to score. It's Nikolai Ehlers on the second unit, so maybe Kyle Connor helping us out there. But then Dorier gets another goal. Now another power play opportunity. 5-on-3, boys. 5-on-3. And we can't get anything going. That's bad karma. You know that they're going to come back and score. Never mind, Kyle Connor gets another one, and he's been electric here in the past couple of games. That's a huge goal. Oh my gosh, this guy got a hat trick. He's like the 4th liner, and he got a hat trick for them. And now we're going to overtime. That's ridiculous. So here we are in Nashville. Let's try to even this series up at 2. That would be very nice. As Kyle Connor streaks his away, and he finds, in the slot, another shot from Kyle Connor. Sam Kennedy, Cole Perfetti, wide open space, but gets absolutely robbed by Juuse Saros in a blistering start from the Jets. Let's try to keep that up, boys. It's a big hit from Cole Perfetti, and he's going to allow us to build that pressure meter. Now, Corbin Mills to Josh Morrissey to Sam Kennedy. Sam Kennedy, shot, rebound opportunity for Cole Perfetti, goes nowhere. Sam Kennedy now to Corbin Mills. Mills gets slashed on the play, and we're going to go straight to the power play, a slashing call. We get our first unit out there, and it's Turvin, their first overall selection, that takes the slashing penalty. So that is beautiful, beautiful stuff. Josh Morrissey with that puck. He's looking for his options. He finds Svensson, he's going to score. And that's what I'm talking about, boys. Mats Svensson gets the pass from Josh Morrissey, does a little dangle, and he's going to get that low glove on Juuse Saros to tie this series up at 2. Beautiful work, boys. And despite the fact that we lose Zach Werenski, we find a way to win that game. You know, it wasn't a pretty win by any means, but a win is a win, and we've tied the series up at 2. Every other series is 3-1. Edmonton rolling through Anaheim. I mean, that's scary. That's a scary sight. Rangers are beating the Hurricanes. Florida is beating the Montreal Canadiens. All right, so for Game 5, the lines are not going to change. We're 2-0 with these new lines. I mean, I guess we're 1-0 with the lines without Zach Werenski. When is he coming back, by the way? I didn't actually check that. I think it said like May 30th or something. I think he's out for quite a while. May 20th. Okay. Back spasms until May 20th. Yikes. That's really rough. Get well soon. Can he come back in this series? I don't think so. I do not think so. We're in Game 5. No, he's not going to be back for the series. So we're going to have to win this series without him. And then he's even not going to be back for the first couple of games in the Western Conference Finals if we make it there. So it all starts here, boys. We're on home ice. We've got to play for Zach Werenski. He's in his bed. He's trying to get better. He can barely move, but, you know, he's getting carried into the press box for each and every game. He's showing up, so let's show up for him. First period, 4-2 for the Winnipeg Jets. Sam Kennedy, he's been a little bit silent. He finds a goal. Clark Caswell ties it up at 1. Nikolai Ehlers gets a power play goal. Then Melvin Barker gets another one, gives us a 3-1 lead. And then this guy, DeWarrior, he has his 4th goal in 2 games to give them us a 3-2 lead. And then with 2 minutes left, Melvin Barker gives us the 4-2 lead. So great period from us. Let's please shut them down, though. I don't care. You know what? Scratch that. I don't care if we shut down their entire team. I just don't want to see this name that I can't pronounce on my screen again here in the second period. All right, boys? Let's shut him out. How about that? I don't care about the rest of the team. Second period. Okay. We shut the whole team out. I'll take that. I will gladly take that. And we go into the third period with a 2-goal lead, with a 3-goal lead as Matt Svensson puts one in on the power play. And our power play, ever since I'll do that little change here, it's been clicking quite well. Daniel Sprung, though, he gets his team back within 2, but Jesper Wallstedt should be able to hold on. Of course, 79 overall, 4th line center, scores a huge goal with 7 minutes left. Wallstedt, I need you. Wallstedt, I need you. And you know what, boys? It doesn't matter how many you let in. It matters if you're making those big time saves. Timing is everything. He let in just as much as he needed to, but then he shuts the door for those last 7 minutes and allows us to get the win. Svensson with 3 points, Barker with 2 goals, Kyle Connor with 3 assists. Oh my goodness. And this has been a great couple of games here so far. A 4-1 win, a 5-4 win, and then a 5-4 win for the Winnipeg Jets. That is beautiful. Edmonton is on to the next round over there out in the East. The Rangers up against the Hurricanes and Florida up against Montreal. So the Elite 8, let's see who moves on. Can we beat Nashville on their home ice to get us to the Western Conference Finals for the awaiting Edmonton Oilers? Let's see here, boys. In Nashville, let's do this. First period, 2-0 for Nashville. Of course, Comiskey, yeah, this guy, I hadn't seen his name in a while, so of course he's going to score on Wallstedt. Then Zibanejad also, and the power play strikes hot for them once again. I mean, we held their power play off for the last 3 games, but I guess it's just their time. I guess they're due, huh? We've been getting some power play goals, so I guess it's only a matter of time until they get some. How many penalties did we have? We only had 2 penalties. They just capitalized. Okay. Sometimes that happens, boys, but now we have to fight back. They're dominating us in shots, probably because of those power plays, but let's go. Let's fight back here, boys. Second period. Oh, my goodness. Okay, this might just be a game to forget. All right, you know what? Fair enough. They were the better team here. Can we get something going? No, we can't. Okay, this game's over, but I guess we're going to 7, huh? I guess we are going 7. I don't like to hear those words, but we've been pretty decent in Game 7s, I think, so... I have faith in this team. I know these guys are going to show up for Zach Werenski. We've just got to accept the fact that we got smoked. Nobody has good stats. Wallstedt, I mean, he had 40 shots against. I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm not even going to look at the stars of the night. Let's not give them any additional credit that they deserve. So, here we go, boys. Round 2. We were here last year as well, I believe. Were we here last year? I think we were. We were here last year. Many people on this team have found great success in the playoffs, but there's a new age coming. We need to prove to those guys that we can still get it done, to new Winnipeg Jets fans everywhere that we can still get it done. A lot of people are saying this is an old team, this is a decrepit team, you know, geriatric, these guys don't deserve to be in this position. We were the President's Trophy winners. Let's go show this bum Nashville Predator team exactly why here, boys. Game 7 in Winnipeg. Let's show them why we have the best fans in the league as we get the simulation underway. We kill off that penalty. Beautiful stuff. Another power play goes to us now, and they kill it off. Kumitsky. Of course Kumitsky's going to get a goal. Oh my gosh, I knew it as soon as I saw these lines. I knew the power forward always gets the goals in the EA Sports simulation. 2 minutes, 1 minute, and that's the end of the first period. I definitely don't like where this is going. I feel a very ominous wind in the air, I'm not going to lie. But gotta have faith in our boys. They were the President's Trophy winners for a reason. Let's go, boys. I know we can do it. Let's show them. They're in Winnipeg. They're in hostile territory. The fans are behind us. Let's go here, boys. Second period. And they started off on the power play. Of course they do. We kill it off. Now, get going, boys. Get your legs under you. Let's go. Let's play some 5-on-5 hockey. We've got great 5-on-5 ability here. We had one of the best goals for per game, and that's exactly why. Melvin Barker. We have depth everywhere on this lineup. Melvin Barker ties us up at ones. And this is a very, very tight game, as most Game 7s are. Shots 19-17, score 1-1. Is it time for a speech? Is it time for a speech? Haven't done one of these in a while, huh? Have I, boys? All right, boys, listen up. Listen up, all of you. Look it. Some of you are young kids, but I've put all of us together. We've drafted most of you. We've made some blockbuster trades over the off season with the help of the millions of GMs in the comments and in our social media teams and things like that. Millions of people have been asking for changes, and we made changes. We picked you guys to be on this roster. We picked you to step on the ice, to wear the blue and white each and every night. I guess the blue, red, and white. Each and every night, you step on the ice with pride. We have the best fans in the entire NHL here on the best ice in the entire NHL. Let's go out. Let's prove to the Winnipeg Jet fans everywhere that we can beat this Nashville team. We can make it past the second round for the first time since we've won the Stanley Cup. Let's go, Winnipeg. And with that, the Jets roar onto the ice. A beautiful, beautiful momentum change has happened as I call down to... No, I don't call down. I bust my way into that locker room, move past the security guards, and we're in the locker room. We give the speech, and will it pay off? 5 minutes in the third period. Shots in our favor. Score is 1-1. Of course it is, right? It's overtime. Well. Canada Life Center. The whiteout is here. Let's try to get some offense going here. Christian Kyrou comes into the zone. We're not worried about him, hopefully. Yeah, I just don't want to say anything bad about the Nashville Predators because I know, oh my gosh, Tervanen, that's an interception there. Because I know as soon as I say something bad, they're going to get that person's going to score, right? It always happens. EA, I swear they're listening to you whenever you commentate. They're always listening, man. Here's Mika Zibanejad. Oh my god, he just got nailed. Josh Morrissey, our captain, stepping up physically. Wow, that's insane. Oh my god, oh my god. And the physical play from our captain, Josh Morrissey, leads to the series-winning goal. Oh my goodness. Josh Morrissey just put Mika Zibanejad in the hospital. The refs don't blow the whistle, and Sam Kennedy comes down the other way. The acquisition in the offseason, and he blasts it straight past Yusei Soros for the series-clinching goal. Holy smokes! What the heck just happened? And then Josh Morrissey walks through the lines. He shakes these guys' hands after he just hospitalized one of their best players. Oh my god, that was insane. Can I get a replay, EA, or am I gonna have to do it myself? No, here it is. Boom! Mika Zibanejad just got a concussion. He gets right back up somehow, but that's insane. We come down the other way, and Sam Kennedy, he finds that Phil Kessel 6-hole, and the Winnipeg Jets are off to the next round. Oh my goodness, boys. So every game is, or every series is done here. So I mean, we just got to get straight into the next series. The current round of the playoffs is over. Let's continue simulating. Let's see where we are in the grand scope of things. But what a goal from Sam Kennedy. The huge hit from Josh Morrissey. I mean, playoff hockey doesn't get much better than that whatsoever, boys. So let's take a look. Obviously, we know our path. Beat the Sharks in 6 games, beat the Preds in 7, and now we are facing the Edmonton Oilers, who beat out the Seattle Kraken in 4 and then beat Anaheim in 5. So this is a very strong team that we are going up against. I'm a little bit concerned about it, but that's the West. Looking at the East now, Florida is in the Eastern Conference Finals again. They beat Buffalo in 7, then Montreal in 6, and they're taking on the New York Rangers, who beat the Islanders, the Battle of New York, in 6, and then Carolina in 6 as well. So a good Elite Four here, hopefully. So let's see what we can do in it. But first, we obviously have to take a look at the Edmonton Oilers, boys. I'm quite concerned about them because I kind of know that they're going to be stacked offensively, right? So it's going to be tough to see. Yeah, I mean, Draisaitl, McDavid, Marchenko. That is probably the best line in hockey, right? The best first line, probably. But then after that, Beauvillier, Ruzicka, and Fisher. I mean, these guys are not... I mean, Ruzicka has 7 points, but they're -5 overall, so I'm not too worried about their second line. Rem Pitlick, Brendan Brisson, and Alex Turcotte. What have they got for us? 3 points, 7 points from Brendan Brisson. Wow. And then 5 points from Alex Turcotte. Okay, it's not crazy, but yeah, they can still get it done. And then Lawson Krause, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Ross Colton. Fair enough, but basically this first line is carrying them to the promised lands. 13 points, 14 points, and 8 points in 9 games. So great stuff from them. Defensively, I'm not too worried about it either. Evan Bouchard has 10 points, but after that, really nothing to be too concerned about here. A bunch of low 80s in their bottom 4 defense, so not too worried. But Evan Bouchard is a fantastic defender. And then in goal, who do they have back here? Stuart Skinner at an 84 overall, but he's playing amazing. So yeah, I don't know what the series is going to be like. I feel like we've beaten Edmonton before. What does their power play look like? It's probably crazy, right? McDavid, Draisaitl, Ruzicka, Bouchard. Yeah, it's pretty good first line power play. Second line is whatever. Okay, I think we can beat this team. I always value depth over superstars, but it's hard to argue with McDavid and Draisaitl, right? Unfortunately, they are still amazing players 8 years into this simulation here. They're like 30, but of course they're still getting it done at the highest of levels. All right, and just real quick, boys, I wanted to take a look at the stats. So we've got Kyle Connor and Josh Morrissey leading the way. Josh Morrissey has 12 assists in 13 games. Crazy stuff. Kyle Connor, 8 goals, 12 points. Love to see that. Matt Svensson with 11 points and 13. Cole Perfetti with 11. Melvin Barker with 10. Great. That's good to see from Melvin Barker because he had a somewhat disappointing regular season, so I love to see 10 points in 13 games from him. Same thing with Sam Kennedy, 10 points in 13 games for him. Nikolai Ehlers on the third line has 9 points. Love it. Shane Pinto has 7. Elliot Patrick has 7. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Wyatt Johnston with 6. That's a great pickup in free agency. Corbin Mills has 6 assists. Okay, it's pretty good as well. 40-point pace basically. If we take it into the regular season 82 games, Dylan Holloway 5. Zach Werenski 5 points. He's injured, remember, boys, until May 20th. So we're going to have to bear that burden for a little bit longer here. And then the rest of the crew, Stempniak with 2 points, and Vinny has gotten in there for 4 games, and he's a -3. Okay, so that line is not doing fantastic. What about goaltending wise? Jesper Wallstedt, 898, save percentage 311. Fantastic. I can never get goaltending in this series, can I? Unless we have like 91 overall Connor Hellebuck. Either way, nothing to complain about. We are in the Western Conference Finals, so let's show these Edmonton Oilers what we can do. Actually, where did Edmonton finish in the regular season? I wonder if this is like first place versus second place type of a thing. Well, it's not second place, but first place versus third place in the Western Conference Finals. So, yeah, they're a good team. They can score and they can keep the puck out of their net. Great power play, great penalty kill. Yeah, they're a fantastic team. All right, let's start it up. I'm trying to delay it as much as possible, but let's start it up. It looks like Zach Werenski will be back for Game 3 of this series, so that's beautiful. Yeah, okay, here we go. We're in Winnipeg for game number 1 of round number 3. Let's keep those 2 guys off the board if we can in the first period. Oh, yes, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Ehlers starts us off. Corbin Mills gets 1. Elliot Patrick gets like his 4th of the playoffs. And then Josh Morrissey gets his 1st goal of the playoffs. And that is a beautiful period. Let's just keep it rolling. Second period. Oh, yes. Yes, boys. Sam Kennedy chips in on the power play. Cole Perfetti chips in on Samuel Montembeault, who's now in the net instead of Stuart Skinner. And this is a rout in Winnipeg, ladies and gents. Wyatt Johnston gives us another. Kromarchenko scores 1. Yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Their power play, they get another one. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's going to make Jesper Wallstedt's stats look a little worse, but they're not getting 5 in 2 minutes. And at the end of the day, all I care about is that big W that's on the board after a fantastic game. We were able to really get to them. 3 players had 3 points, a goal and 2 assists for all of them. So that is a beautiful first game of this series. And now let's carry that momentum into game number 2 here. And that's great too as well, because we win that game without Zach Werenski, right? So we take a lead without Zach Werenski. The worst we can be when he comes back is 1-1. So that's beautiful to see. Out in the East, the Rangers are up ahead against the Florida Panthers. So let's simulate game number 2 now. And I would love a game with a similar outcome, huh? What do you say? What do you say, Winnipeg? Can you give me that? First period. Okay, 3-2 for us. Shane Pinto and Wyatt Johnston, the depth coming through. Philip Broberg scores on their second power play unit, but then Connor McDavid, yeah, he was not on that board in the first game, so you better believe he's going to try to get on it in the second one. Probably like similar to real life, right? And then Wyatt Johnston gets his second of the game against Stuart Skinner. So Wyatt Johnston has like, he's got 3 goals in 2 games, I think. That's great. Love to see that. Edmonton is out shooting us, but we are outscoring them. Let's try to keep that pace up. Second period. Here we go, boys. And that's 5-3 for us. Nikolai Ehlers and Melvin Barker both score. Kromarchenko gets 1 on Jesper Wallstedt. But yeah, I figured this was going to be a very offensive series. Elliot Patrick gets his 2nd of the night. Beautiful to see. And we now have a 3-goal lead. If you have a 3-goal lead going into the third period in the playoffs, this should be... Hang on. Yeah, this should be it. You should not allow a 3-goal lead to dissipate in one period in the playoffs for sure. And it looks like we are going to do, or we're not going to do, just that 6-3 victory over the Edmonton Oilers, boys. 3 stars of the night are Ehlers with 3 points, Wyatt Johnston 2 goals, Shane Pinto a goal and an assist. You love to see it. And now I have a decision to make. We've just destroyed Edmonton in back-to-back games. But obviously, we see that Zach Werenski is fully healed and available to play in the team's next game. So, Alex was making fun of my superstition for not allowing or not bringing in Cole Perfetti, our first-line center, when we were on that winning streak. But I think we won 3 out of 4 games. So, it's I don't know. it's a thing where do I bring in Zach Werenski even though we've won the first two games? And I think the answer to that is yeah, I kind of have to because we're in the playoffs. So we need our best players to always be playing. Vinny was like a minus. Oh no, he was actually. Oh my gosh, he was actually like probably like a +5 in this series or +4 or something in this series. Sean Walker's still doing great things, but Vinny, he's got to come in. Zach Werenski is gonna bump everybody down. But do we see? But these were the great lines. These lines got us a huge win over Nashville. I remember that we were down 2-0 in the series. We went to these lines. We got a big 4-1 win. Then we switched up to these lines because Werenski was injured, right? So do we go back to these lines? Where Zach Werenski, Corbin Mills, Josh Morrissey, Joel Shepard, Stempniak, Walker? I guess we'll start with these. And then if things go awry, I don't know, because Vinny was playing great, right? But either way, I mean, we kind of have to do this. I'm also going to switch up the power play now, of course, because we no longer need Kyle Connor to be double shifting. I can go into Zach Werenski here, although our power play has been good. But still, I mean, we're gonna give Kyle Connor a little bit of a break, so I don't think that's something to be disappointed with. The penalty kill has been good this series, but I will go with of course I can't see his name. I'll go with Zach Werenski. Oh my goodness, Zach Werenski instead of Stempniak on line 2. And that's what we'll do basically for all 3 of these lines. I'll do it over here as well. And there we go. Okay, looking good over here in the penalty kill. I'll look at the extra lines, make sure these guys are playing where they should be. Alright, so we took care of the lines. Now, game number 3 going into Edmonton. I guess this is the Battle of Western Canada, huh? I didn't even realize that, yeah. Battle of Western Canada. Manitoba versus Alberta. Let's see who comes out on top. We have a 2-game lead going into game number 3 here. We are in Edmonton at the Rogers Place. Let's do it, boys. First period, Zach Werenski's back in the lineup. First period, and that's 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers. See, this is exactly what I was worried about. This is exactly what I was worried about. Obviously, I'm not going to attribute that only to Zach Werenski, but the team was just flowing well with the lines that we had. So here we go. Second period. Come on, boys. Let's not make this a big fiasco, huh? I just want to be able to say, yep, we put the better player in and we won, of course, because that's very logical. Why wouldn't you? But there's weird stuff with simulation lineups in this game where when you find the right lineup against a team, you seem to just dominate them. So let's go, boys. Second period now. Come on, give it to me. I need the offense to come through. Second period. Yikes. And the power play, their power play got 2 goals in this game. They scored a shorthanded one. Christian Fischer, Clem Costin, and Cole Perfetti bring us to within 1. But then Christian Fischer reinstates that 2-goal lead going into the third period. Oh my goodness. Oh my. See, and if we lost a game like this, when Werenski wasn't in the lineup, you guys would all be yelling at me that Werenski wasn't in the lineup, but at least I could just throw him in there for next game and we could definitely boost up the line, right? Now, if I put Vinny in, am I gonna be looked at as somebody insane for putting Vinny in when Werenski came into the lineup and we allowed 7 goals? I mean, I'm not blaming Werenski, but I'm starting to see Fresh was maybe ahead of the 8 ball on this one. He was telling us like 2 years ago, no, last year, he was telling us that maybe, Werenski was the problem on defense. And I'm not going to only blame Werenski whatsoever. We allowed 7. There's more than just Werenski going on, but we throw a 90 overall Zach Werenski into the lineup, and things do not work out very well. All right, but that being said, let's change up some lines, huh? Let's go, Who was the bad line? I can't even really tell. I guess it was the second line. Maybe Werenski, maybe he was in there for a bit too prematurely. Let's go with this, okay? We'll go Werenski, Shepard, Mills, Morrissey, okay? Just a little switch. Maybe we threw him in there, a bit too much. He wasn't ready for it yet. He came back a little bit early, still a little bit injured, so we'll move his minutes down just a tad, and we'll see if this makes a difference. It's like game number 4. Up against the Edmonton Oilers. Let's go here, boys. First period, I need a really good performance after a brutal 7-2 loss. We need a strong performance here. First period, 2-0 for us. Okay, Aiden Stempniak gets a rare goal, and Nikolai Ehlers gets a second one on Stuart Skinner. Very, very good, guys. Shots 18-7. That's the type of period you need after you could just get blown out 7-2. That's beautiful stuff. Second period, let's go here. Second period, nice to see. Kyle Connor gets on the board as well, and that's a 3-0 lead heading into that third third period. Nobody say those magic words. Let's just get it done. Third period underway, halfway through the period. So far, so good from our defense. And our goaltender, Kyle Connor, gets a fourth one on Stuart Skinner now. A fifth one goes to Klim Kostin, and this is a beautiful, beautiful answer. Of course, McDavid's going to score on that power play and break the shutout, but that's a beautifully answered game. After a very rough one, we outshoot them 40-27. We dominated them everywhere, and we won the game, which is beautiful to see. 3 stars of the night, and Jesper Wallstedt, yep, he's in there. He's in there after a bad game. He gets in there with 962 save percentage. Cole Perfetti, 2 assists. Kyle Connor, 2 goals, 1 assist for the aging Kyle Connor. This might be his last chance to get to a place where, you know, maybe he can get another one. So great game from us, not changing the lines. Obviously, after a 5-1 win, we have home ice advantage for Game 5, where we can close it out here and get to Lord Stanley's Playground. Let's do it, boys. Game number 5 in Winnipeg. First period. Of course, 3-1 for them. And Christian Fischer gets another shorthanded goal. Wow. That's his second shorthanded goal in 3 games. We're out shooting them 17-9, and they're beating us 3-1. That's unacceptable goaltending from Jesper Wallstedt. A shorthanded and then 2 even strength goals. Draisaitl's going to score. That's going to happen. But come on, Bouchinger and Christian Fischer are the ones who are dominating us. That's unacceptable. Let's go here, boys. Wake up in the second period. Come on. Second period. Oh my gosh. And 4-1. Ruzicka scores and Hellebuck's in the net now because Wallstedt got pulled most likely. Oof. And that's a rough game. That's a very, very rough game. I mean, we outshot them. I mean, that's really all I can go by. We outshot them, so I assume we outplayed them. And unfortunately, we just don't get the win here. But the fact that we are outshooting them is something that I'm happy with. So I'm not going to change the lines. A 4-1 loss, but 3 stars of the night. Let's see. Skinner, Hellebuck did his thing. And Wallstedt's definitely not going to be in there. Bouchinger gets 2 points. Okay. So Game 6 coming up. Please close it out in Game 6, boys. I don't want to have to go to another Game 7. We always blow 3-1 leads, man. We always have to go 7, and Florida beats the Rangers in 5 games. Wow. Eastern Conference Finals rematch from 2024. Well, in the current 2024. I don't remember who it was in the simulation, but either way. Edmonton, Winnipeg. Game 6. I don't want to have to go to a Game 7, boys. Can we just show up, please? Can we just show up in a Game 6? Please, boys? Here we go. Game 6, come on. We just got to shut down McDavid. We just got to shut down Draisaitl. It's easy as that, right? That's easy as that. Here we go. First period. Oh my gosh, it's 0-0, but we are doubling their shots, which is nice. Come on, boys. Second period. Let's go out there with fire in our hearts, and let's burn them to a crisp in the second period. Okay, 1-1. Matt Svensson scores, and then Evan Bouchard gets one on the point past Jesper Wallstedt. Wallstedt has had a good turnaround game here. That is something that I've noticed. When Wallstedt has a bad game, he tries to turn in a good performance in the next one. So come on, boys, play for your goaltender, and let's find a way past Stuart Skinner. We've been able to get past him in this series as a whole, but we need it right now. Let's go here, boys. Third period is underway, and they are on the power play, and Alex Turcotte's going to score on that abysmal second unit, but then Dylan Holloway ties us back up at 2, and now we get a power play opportunity, and we're going to score on it. It's Zach Werenski on the second power play. He got reinstated into that lineup, and he's going to get a huge goal for us. Our power play goes nowhere now, and then there's another one from Elliot Patrick. Yes, boys, come on. Keep going. 2-goal lead. 3 minutes remain. 1 minute. I'm going to jump in here and let's watch that trophy get lifted, hopefully. You never know when you jump into the game, but let's hope that we can get to lift that trophy. All right, boys, here we are in Edmonton for game number 6 with 50 seconds on that clock. Looks like we're going to be going to the power play as well, but a huge moment here for the Winnipeg Jet fans everywhere. For the first time in like 4 years or something like that, I believe, we might be, I don't want to say it to you, but we might be off to the Western Conference Finals. The longtime Jet Kyle Connor finds Cole Perfetti, and we're going to be able to put that one in the empty net. I didn't even realize that we had an empty net, which is why I wasn't commentating earlier. Cole Perfetti is going to find his 4th goal of this playoffs. It's an empty netter, passed over there by Kyle Connor, and somehow Perfetti puts that in. He wasn't even across the blue line yet, and he finds the back of the net. That is some serious accuracy in the EA world. So that's beautiful to see. And everybody can take a deep, deep sigh of relief here. We get to see McDavid out there. But it's not going to matter for those Oilers. You got to feel bad for them, but you got to feel fantastic if you're a Winnipeg Jet fan here. And we're just pouring on the pressure as well. We don't even want it to end. Let's go. McDavid, the captain of this Edmonton Oilers team since he was very young, probably since he was like 20 or so, maybe 19. I don't know when it happened. But he's going to unfortunately fall in the Western Conference Finals to the Winnipeg Jets, who are off to the Stanley Cup Finals, boys. Oh man, everybody strap in. Let me get some drink of water. Some drink of water. Oh my goodness, my English. Let me get a drink of water as we watch the handshakes go here. It was a great series, a hard-fought series. You know, ups and downs for both teams. I was thinking after the first 2 games, I was thinking it was going to be a walk in the park, but no, of course, the Oilers have to battle back. They make it a series. Mutual respect there between the 2 goaltenders. And will Josh Morrissey touch that thing? No, he says no, not a chance. We're after 1 trophy and 1 trophy only. Let's go get Lord Stanley's Cup. Okay, boys, so after a nice victory there over the Edmonton Oilers, we are now off to see the Stanley Cup Finals up against the Florida Panthers, man. They went 46, 31, and 5. Let's take a look at how their regular season went in comparison to the rest of the league here. So let's look for Florida. 46. They were the 8th best team. All right. 46, 31, and 5. The 3.43 goals for per game. So not bad, but not among the elites by any stretch, but that tier below. And 3.21 goals against. Yikes. So they allowed a lot of goals. They had a bad power play, and their penalty kill was pretty decent. Let's check the playoff stats. So how have they been performing here in these playoffs, the entire league? Let's just sort by wins. I guess we'll be able to see both of us with 12. Yes, we will. So Florida, they've been scoring 4 goals for per game, great, and they've been allowing 3.17, not as good. So we've been allowing less goals, but we've also been scoring a bit less. So interesting stuff. Power play percentage, they've been clicking at 21%, so they've had a better power play than us, and they've had a way better penalty kill as well. Our penalty kill has been lacking drastically here. They're not great away, but they're amazing at home. Okay, so let's keep that in mind here. We've got to definitely try to win our games at home, because they're not a fantastic road team. That being said, it's time to go view the lines and see what they're all about. Let's see who's on their roster. Do they still have like Aaron Ekblad, Brendan Montour, those guys, Matthew Tkachuk, Barkov, Lindell? Okay, yeah. So pretty much they've basically got their current team. Carter Verhaeghe is still here, Sam Bennett is here, and then they've picked up Fabian Zetterlund, wow, who has 12 points in 18 games. Okay, the second line's not doing great. The first line, how's the first line doing? Oh my god, 27 points in 18 games. 26 points in 18 games. 24 points in 18. That first line is insane, man. Third line, Pierre Engvall, Jesper Boqvist, and Valerian Nichushkin. That's a big line. 6'5", 6 feet, and then 6'4". Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So 11 points, 7 points, 8 points. Okay, not a point-getting line, but basically their first line takes care of that for their entire roster. So interesting stuff. Yakov Trenin. Was Yakov Trenin a Winnipeg Jet, or was that the Ottawa series that I'm thinking of? Yeah, that was last year's Ottawa series I'm thinking of. Of course, they all get joggled in my brain here. Then they have Mikey Anderson with Aaron Ekblad, who's still an 89 overall despite being 35 years of age. He's still getting it done with 16 points in 18 games. Fair enough. Then they have, oh no, of course. Of course they would have him. He's still an 80 overall, but Mats Dahl, drafted by us in the first round, 31st overall. We end up trading Mats Dahl for Aiden Stempniak. And he's a plus 10 in the playoffs. He's alongside of Brendan Montour. Montour has 17 points despite being 80 overall. Mats Dahl is an 80 overall defensive defenseman. I know he's gonna get the game 7 overtime clinching goal. I can already see it, dude. I can already see it. No, Okay, their defense looks okay. I think ours looks slightly better objectively, but don't forget what that psychological factor can do. You know Matt Stahl is going to be playing the best hockey of his entire life, playing against his former team who traded him away for somebody who has never even been in the league. He's going to be, he's gonna be on his A game here. What did he do for them last year? He had 9 points. He was a plus 13. With us, he was basically an even player, 11, 13 points. He only played 62 games though, so he was injured for a little bit here, or he was maybe maybe somebody else got injured and so he like early in the season and then he took the role. I'm not sure, but a decent season from him. Plus 13. Was he playing more ice time than he was with? Yeah, he was playing 21 minutes, so he's playing fourth, or sorry, excuse me. He's on that second pair for them basically the entire season. He doesn't really hit or block though, so I'm still not really that disappointed with the decision that we made. He's not a big hitter or blocker, so interesting stuff. We will see how many goals Matt Stahl gets in this playoff run. We got to watch out for that first line. I mean, they're a great team. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals for a reason, but so are we, boys. Do not get intimidated by them. We have got to think that we can win this series because we definitely, definitely can. So let's go here, Winnipeg, up against the Florida Panthers. Round 4, Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1. Let's simulate. And let's take it to the Florida Panthers here early. They are not a great road team compared to their home status, so let's do this, boys. First period. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Winnipeg. Melvin Barker scores, and then Nikolai Ehlers scores on that power play to give us a 2-0 lead. They're out shooting us, but we are outscoring them, so let's keep that up. Spencer Knight also, he's allowed like 3 goals against on average, so that bodes well for us because we can score that puck into the back of the net. So let's go here, boys. Second period underway, and that's a 3-0 lead now as Philip Tomasino gets on the board with a fairly rare goal. A 3-0 lead going into the third. You guys know how I feel about that. A long power play and goes nowhere for us. Of course, our special teams have not been clicking at a very respectable pace, but we've just been so great 5-on-5 that it hasn't seemed to matter too much. There's Brendan Montour with a goal, probably assisted by Matt Stahl, of course, but that's going to be the only one that Florida gets in that entire game, and that was a beautiful performance from all of our team, especially from Jesper Wallstedt, who's that first star of the night with a .969 save percentage, but Nikolai Ehlers gets 2 points, Philip Tomasino gets a goal as well, and that's beautiful stuff. Let me just check, did Matt Stahl get an assist on that goal? No, he did not. Okay, Matt Stahl, he was a +1 though. Great. In a game where they allowed 2 even strength goals in a power play goal, they, of course, Matt Stahl has to be a plus somehow. Okay, either way, game number 2. Let's do it, boys. The same type of game. I would love to see a low scoring for them, high scoring for us. Obviously, that's what we always want to see. But let's really focus on limiting their chances here, just like we did in game number 1. First period, yes, Sam Kennedy and Zach Werenski. Thank you very much, boys. Within 5 minutes of each other, within 5 minutes of the end of the first period, and now we're out shooting them 17-11. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Second period now, more of the same, please. Second period, okay, that's totally fine. That is totally fine by me. A 2-goal lead going into the third period. Let's do it. Let's do it here. Third period underway. Power play for Florida. Can we kill it off? This would be a huge momentum boost for us. It's a super, super long one. 5-on-3 now. What is going on? They've been on the power play. What the heck was that? Stop the sim. Stop the sim. What was that? They had been on the power play. What? Yo! Tell me the refs don't have a bias, boys. Come on. Double minor high sticking. Okay, that makes sense. Slashing, hooking. Are you joking me, game? Are you joking me? Dude, the refs are bought off and paid for. They don't want to see the Lord Stanley's Cup come across the border once again. Noel Gunler scores on Jesper Wallstedt on that, 10-minute power play. It was insane. We do not capitalize on the power play that we got, but hang on. Late here, Wallstedt is Jesper Wallstedt proving he can do it in the biggest of moments. That's another amazing game from him. 37 saves this time, 973 save percentage. Zach Werenski got the game winner, and Spencer Knight played a good game as well. But luckily for us, Wallstedt was just a little bit better. Now we're going to their home where they've been amazing. I think they were like 6-2 at home or something like that. So let's see if we can combat them on their home ice. It's not going to be easy. You know, they're going to have that ice that's going to be bouncing up a little bit. It's probably like 30 degrees Celsius for all my Canadian viewers. Probably like, what is that, like 90 or something Fahrenheit, something like that. I don't know. I don't know the exact conversion, but either way, we're in Florida. Game 3. We've had all the momentum, but you know that this Florida crowd, they're going to be rocking that building. Amarant Bank Arena. Let's go here, boys. First period. I need a good first period out of you guys once again. Wallstedt, you've got to stop the tide. A power play goal from Matt Svensson early, first shot of the game, and the first period. Svensson gets his second. Go get your natural hat trick, Svensson. Let's do it. He scores with 34 seconds remaining in the first period as well. And that's going to be a huge momentum killer for them. Second period now. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so excited. Second period. Oh, of course. Why did I say that? Sam Bennett scores on Wallstedt, and so does Fabian Zetterlund, their second line, chipping in for 2 goals. So our second line has 2 goals. Their second line has 2 goals. And now, basically, you got to think about it. It's a 0-0 game going into the third period. Let's do it here. Whoever scores first probably takes this one, but you never know. Power play for Florida, and that's going to be us. Kyle Connor's going to get a power play goal for us on Spencer Knight in a prime opportunity. How many goals has he scored from there? But then Matthew Tkachuk ties it up. Oh my gosh, and Jesper Boqvist gives him a 4-3 lead, but then Melvin Barker ties us up at 4. 5 minutes remain. This has been a crazy third period, and Kyle Connor gets his second of the period. Kyle Connor, oh my gosh, and Elliot Patrick. Let's go, boys. Our second line comes through in a big way in this game, and we explode for, what is this, 5 goals in the third period. Kyle Connor finds 2. Melvin Barker, Elliot Patrick find 2 of their own. That second line getting to work. Oh my goodness, and what an explosion from Winnipeg. We are so capable of doing that. We've done it before, and we put up 7 in game 3 to give us a 3-0 lead. Do you guys believe? Although if we, oh, okay, I'm not even going to say that. Okay, Svensson, 5 points. Love it. Kyle Connor, 3. Elliot Patrick, 3 as well. Did anybody not have a point? I mean, I felt like that was driven a lot by our yeah, I mean, look at this. Sometimes you'll see a game with like 3 or 4 goals for us where we have way more people than this getting points. Sam Kennedy only played a minute 22. Sam Kennedy only played a minute 22. What is going on? Why? Dylan Holloway played 7. That's normal. Why did Sam Kennedy only play a minute and 22 seconds? And he got what happened? He got an assist in a minute and 22 seconds. What the heck happened? He went on for the power play and then he didn't go back on the ice. That's absurd stuff. -2 for Philip Tomasino. I don't care. What the heck? Just, oh my gosh, don't be injured, don't be injured, don't be injured, don't be injured. Okay, he wasn't injured. I don't know, Matthew Tkachuk just tried to take him out. I don't know what happened. 3-0. Sam Kennedy only played a minute in that last game, but, you know, Matthew Tkachuk was pounding him after we scored the game, and you know, Sam Kennedy, he had to leave the game, but he's back. He's not going to let a simple, you know, concussion or you know, a broken jaw stop him from playing in the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's what I love about that kid. We're up 3-0. This has the potential. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I'm going to say it because it makes for good commentary. This has the potential to be one of our most dominating series or one of the worst series in Winnipeg Jets franchise history. So let's just put that out in the universe right now and watch them come back from 3-0. Here we go. 4th game of this series. The Stanley Cup is in the building. Although I thought the Stanley Cup was... I didn't realize that the Stanley Cup's always in the building. Because when people say the Stanley Cup's in the building, you know, you think that that's like for the first time. Although they just brought it out right in front of both teams for the opening draw. I don't know if that's always been happening. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but what the heck do I know? Either way, 4th game here. Oh, we're just going to watch it all because why not? And Kyle Connor, this man, he is fighting. Oh my, I love this man. I love this man. He's like 35 and he's having one of the biggest playoff seasons of his entire career. There's Cole Perfetti with another one. And I don't want to call it yet, but I kind of, oh my gosh, Sam Kennedy and all 3 players on our first, dude, come on. Do I even have to say anything? I'm just going to sit here. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here in silence, but I kind of want to. 5 goals in the first period. This would be a monumental throw. This would be worse. This would be worse than the Toronto Maple Leafs in like 2013 or whenever that was against Boston. 3-1 series lead. That goes to game 7. 3-1 or was it 4-1 lead with like 10 minutes left in the period, the third period, and this would be worse than that. Way worse than that. 5-0 after period 1, and we're up 3-0 in the series. Come on, boys. I don't have to go down there and give a huge speech. We know we're the better team. We can feel it on the ice. Melvin Barker proves it once again. Elliot Patrick proves it once again. And let's go, Winnipeg. Come on, boys. 7-0. Halfway through this game. Can we make it 14-0 by the end? Probably not. But do I care about that? No, I do not. Not for a single second. Jesper Wallstedt, he hasn't faced many, but the ones that he has faced, he's turned away with absolute ease here. Third period is underway, and this is the third period of our lives. Florida is incredibly defeated. The stands, we're in Florida, so the stands are probably basically empty by now, even though they get to see a historic moment and watch a team lift the cup. I bet nobody's in that building as Elliot Patrick and Josh Morrissey get us 9-0. What is happening? We just found a different gear here in the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's gotta be one of the craziest what am I looking for, like, leads in a Stanley Cup playoff game, period, all time. 9-0, has that ever happened in the Stanley Cup Finals history? I don't think so. I mean, how could it? Like 10 years ago, teams were winning 1-0 games, you know? How could it be that, I know, the fans are not happy with the tripping call, but how could it be that there was a team that's won 9-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals before? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I mean, if you find the source, then I still won't believe you. So take that, huh? How about you take that? Take that to the bank. Either way, power play for us. Oh my goodness. Cole Perfetti. Yeah, sure. Lose the draw. I don't care. Let them score. It doesn't matter to me. Anton Lundell comes through. Oh my goodness gracious, boys. And that was a huge game. A huge game. And I don't know what to say. I mean, Corbin Mills, we went out, we acquired him for Liam Karlsson. Corbin Mills gets us a cup. Liam Karlsson got us out in the second round. Obviously, different teams, of course. Slightly different for us, but, you know, either way, I mean, you got to think Corbin Mills came onto this team, and he became our first line defenseman, right-handed defenseman for, the playoffs after Joel Shepherd and Zach Werenski. You know, they were doing okay, but in that Nashville series, we really needed a switch up. We put Corbin Mills onto that first line, and he has stuck there ever since. So, shout out to Alex for believing in him, wanting me to go pick him up. I'm very happy that I did now, of course. Here it is. The Stanley Cup is in the building, and, man, that's a beautiful sight, especially when it's basically guaranteed that we're going to pick that thing up. I don't know why the Florida fans are cheering, because I definitely wouldn't be if I was a Florida fan, but I'm not a Florida fan. I'm a Winnipeg Jet fan, so let's do it. We're getting hype. And the bench, I mean, what are these guys feeling on the Florida bench? How do you play a game where you've known basically since the first period that you're done? How do you play this game out? It's a Stanley Cup Finals. It's the biggest moment of your career, and you're down 9-0? How do you even keep playing, especially on the penalty kill? Like, I don't know, man. I do not know, but I also don't really care because we are the Winnipeg Jets. And, just put another one in. Make it 10 for me, please. That would be nice. Elliot Patrick to Josh Morrissey shot. Deflects up. Now Melvin Barker. What a story is this kid. He was drafted early. I think a first round or early second round pick. And he's really proven to be something as well. That's lovely to see. Josh Morrissey, our captain. He's going to lift his second as captain. He might get the Conn Smythe as well. If you saw, he's got the most points on the team, I think. Patrick, the Ehlers shot saved by Spencer Knight. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let's go, boys. A one-timer in the slot. And Zach Werenski is still showboating here. Wow. Dirty Selly from Zach Werenski. Pass out from the blue, or behind the red line. I mean, yeah, we're just taking them to school, man. Spencer Knight, he's trying to sprawl still. He probably tore his hamstring trying to make that saves. But, oh boy. And the fans are deafening here. The boos rain down. And what do you think this would do to Florida psychologically? You think they would come back for game number 1 and the fans would be booing them like they are right now? I mean, maybe they're booing us, but if you lose 10-0 in the Stanley Cup final clinching game 4, that is tough. That's tough. Do your fans ever forgive you for that? I mean, as a Sens fan? No, as a Sens fan, I'd be happy that we even made it into the playoffs, so what the heck do I know? But time is ticking down. Oh, and of course, as I start to do my outro, whilst that's going to hang on to that, 5 seconds remaining. Oh, boys, get excited. Get excited. I hope you guys are out of your seats. I'm not even touching the controller either, which is why I haven't been changing the lines. I would have tried to get the 4th line out here, the 3rd line out here, give everybody some ice time. But with time ticking down, your Winnipeg Jets are the Stanley Cup champions, boys. Oh, it feels good. It feels so good to say that. Stanley Cup champions. There's Hellebuyck, who gets his 2nd cup, as does Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey, Cole Perfetti, Nikolai Ehlers. Oh my goodness, what a run from us. We go 6 games in round 1, 7 games in round 2, 6 games in round 3, and the Conn Smythe Trophy to Josh Morrissey. He loves to have it, but he's going to love it even more when he gets called over for the 2nd time this year. Actually, the 3rd time this year if you think about the Prince of Wales Trophy or whatever it is. But here it is. Lord Stanley's Cup being brought out. And Josh Morrissey is going to get the honor of lifting this sucker. Here he comes. Josh Morrissey. Take a bow, my friend, at the ripe age of like 33, 34, however old he is. I don't remember. He not only has the best regular season of his entire career, but he's the Conn Smythe winner as well. And we could not do this without him. Playing 2nd line time, he finds a different gear, just like the rest of this team did here in the Stanley Cup Finals. And who's going to get it next? Who's going to get it next here? Oh man, there's a lot of great choices. It's going to go to Kyle Connor next. Kyle Connor had a huge series for us. I think in the last 2 games he has like 4 goals or something insane like that alone. But Kyle Connor, one of our assistant captains, he's been with the franchise his entire career as well. We have a couple of career lifers as Jets. You know, unfortunately, we move away one of their good friends, Mark Scheifele, but Kyle Connor is going to be more than happy to get that trophy in his hands. Next up, you know what? We're going to go Cole Perfetti, because I would love to see, you know, there's a lot of guys, names on that list that I want to see. The Nikolai Ehlers, all this stuff, but Cole Perfetti, he's our Conn Smythe winner the last time we won it. And boy, he proved once again to everybody who was saying he's not growing, to people who were, you know, wondering about his potential and things like that. No, he proved he is the 1st line center of a Stanley Cup winner. And next up, you know what? I'm going to go with the biggest trade in franchise history. Sam Kennedy, he gets moved for Gabriel Velarde and all these guys. Of course, I wanted to give homage to, you know, Hellebuyck and Ehlers and all those other guys who are on the list, but Sam Kennedy, not sure about that number, but he gives, you know, or we get him in a huge trade, and he proved he can be a 1st line right winger. He had a rough first half of the season and this in the center position. It's his 1st time playing it. He didn't acclimatize very well to it. We brought him down to the 3rd line, then we moved him up to the 1st line. We said, you know what, take your chance, and Winnipeg fans everywhere, take a picture. That's lovely to see. That is very, very lovely to see. Of course, we get to see our names now forever embroidered for the 2nd time in this franchise. Forever embroidered on that Stanley Cup, boys. Oh my goodness, a generation that has lasted the duration of the NHL history. And there we are. Josh Morrissey, Melvin Barker, Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, Connor Hellebuyck, Dylan Holloway, Vinny Ioria, Wyatt Johnston, Sam Kennedy, Klim Kostin, Corbin Mills, Elliot Patrick, Cole Perfetti, Shane Pinto, Alexei Protas. Oh, I couldn't get through them all. Are you kidding me? Because I was talking about other things. I should just leave it there for me. hang on, let me go through the rest of the team, boys. I have to go through the rest of them. Look at this performance, by the way. 10-0. Hang on, I want to take a look at the team stats before I don't have a chance to do it. Josh Morrissey had 5 points in the last game of the playoffs. Oh my gosh. Patrick, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Matt Svensson, 4 assists. Kyle Connor, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. Sam Kennedy, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. Cole Perfetti, 2 points, a goal and an assist. Melvin Barker, a goal and an assist, a +3. Zach Werenski, a goal and an assist. Nikolai Ehlers, 2 assists. Klim Kostin, an assist. Sean Walker, an assist. Shane Pinto, 1 goal. And then nobody else gets any points. But still, these guys are +1 for Tomasino, +2 for Stempniak. Dylan Holloway, nothing really. He didn't even get any hits or anything. Is Dylan Holloway just zeros everywhere? That's kind of funny. Yeah, he's just zeros literally everywhere. Okay, but either way, we're not going to make fun of the guy. He just won a Stanley Cup with us. Joel Shepard, +1, 0 points. Corbin Mills, +4. Corbin Mills, we can't say enough good things about him. Wyatt Johnston, nothing as well. He took a shot at least. So love to see that. Wow, what a game from us. And hang on, another thing that I just want to look at just because I'm sadistic like that. Okay, they actually pulled their goalies, but yikes. That's, oh my gosh, 19 goals against average for Spencer Knight in this game and 12.13 goals against average for Daniil Tarasov. That is an unfortunate series for the Florida Panthers. I mean, if you lose 10-0, are you proud that you've made it that far, or is all you're left with is the fact that you just got swept in the Stanley Cup Finals and got destroyed 10-0? I don't know. Okay, hang on. I forgot where I left off, but we can just imagine this is the Stanley Cup image, right? So Melvin Barker, Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, Dylan Holloway, Vinny Iorio, Wyatt Johnston, Sam Kennedy, Klim Kostin, Corbin Mills, Josh Morrissey, Elliot Patrick, Cole Perfetti, Shane Pinto, Joel Shepard, Aiden Stempniak, Matt Svensson, Philip Tomasino, Sean Walker, Zach Werenski. There are your, hang on, I forgot, also Wallstedt and Hellebuck. There are your 2031 Stanley Cup champions, boys. We always gotta do it right out here. Oh my goodness, the awards are not available yet. Of course, I've got to simulate to the draft, so let's get there. Wow, what a series! What a run. We had a lot of great stories, you know, from, oh, here's the draft lottery if you guys are interested. Chicago, Ottawa, Toronto, Philadelphia, all those guys. Anybody move up? Yeah, Detroit moves up from 4 to 2. Arizona's going to get that first overall pick, so our division's going to get even harder, but not worried about that right now. Oh, retired players. Is Morrissey going to call it a career on top? Is Kyle Connor going to call it a career? Is Connor Hellebuck going to call it? Oh my goodness, we've got some choices here. Also, Mark Scheifele out in Pittsburgh. Will he call it? Let's see. View retired players. Mika Zibanejad. Oh man, that's tough to see. We just beat them out in round 2, and Mika calls it after having a 40-goal season. He had 90 points. Wow. In his retiring year, he had 90 points. Crazy stuff. He had 1,316 points in 1,399 games played. Drafted by Ottawa, 6th overall. That's crazy to see. Evgeny Kuznetsov is here, 1,247 points in 1,317 games. Lovely career from him. Victor Hedman, he had 3 cups with the Light, or was it 2 cups with the Lightning? Yeah, 2 cups. Well, obviously 2 cups in the real world. I'm not sure if they got another one. I would assume that he might have another cup. I feel like I remember the Lightning winning, but either way, he goes out with Colorado. An amazing career, 1,100 points in 1,600 games for a defenseman. That's insane. And here he is, Mark Scheifele. What is he down to? Down to a 74 overall. He still had a pretty good season in the AHL, 67 points, +8. What was he playing? He was playing first line time? No, he's playing second line time and some power play time. Oh man, this guy was in the blue and whites for the Winnipeg blue and white for 17 years, I think. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 17 years really than these 2 years down here. So, I mean, we've got to give. These are actually his total stats with Winnipeg, because he didn't play an NHL game with the rest of these guys. So in Winnipeg's colors, he plays 1,277 games. He gets 450 goals, 670 assists for 1,120 points in his illustrious career. He was a +134, 500 penalty minutes, but that's okay. A lot of shots. good shooting percentage, played 20 minutes time on ice per night basically in his career. Beautiful, beautiful career for Mark Scheifele, and we wish him nothing but the best in retirement. Whether you liked him on the ice, some people thought he was a dirty player, some people liked him. Whether you liked him or not, you have to respect the time that he put in to the game. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is here now, 1,000 points in 1,400 games, beautiful. Bo Horvat, 973 points in 1305. He can still play, but he decides to call it. Oh my gosh, Winnipeg Jet legend here as well. Roman Josi, still an 80 overall. Great defensive awareness, still a pretty good skater, good offensive awareness and poise as well. But yeah, I mean, his other attributes aren't looking too hot. 41 years of age. I almost brought him back at the trade deadline, actually. I'm not going to lie, but his salary was just a little bit too much for my blood. He wins the Stanley Cup in 2028. Or was it? No, it was 2029, I think, what year was it? 2028, yeah, 2028, when we brought him on. Man, what a career for Roman Josi as well. All you Nashville fans got to be loving that. Taylor Hall is here. He was in free agency. He was 74 overall, 922 points in 1,200 games. Teuvo Teravainen, 900 points in 1,200 games. Dougie Hamilton, wow, with Florida. Oliver Bjorkstrand, Thomas Tatar, Rickard Rakell. Thomas Tatar, how old is he? I feel like he's in his 40s. Yeah, 40 years old. Rickard Rakell, Anthony Duclair, Brendan Montour. Oh, that is tough to see. Wow, we beat him out in the Stanley Cup Finals, and he calls it a career after that. Same thing with Valeri Nichushkin. Oh, no, man. I'm feeling bad for these guys. Anthony Mantha, Frank Vetrano, Ike Iafallo, former Winnipeg Jet. So nice to see. He was also in Pittsburgh. Wow. So Mark Scheifele and Iafallo, they reunite in Pittsburgh to, and then they retired together. Fair enough. Darnell Nurse here, who we beat out in the Western Conference Finals. Neil Pionk, former Winnipeg Jets, crazy stuff, 400 points in 941 games. Adam Lowry, our captain, no, 394 points in 1,090 games for him. Oh my goodness, all these guys down here. I'm sure there's more former Jets as well. I want to keep going just to make sure. Pierre Engvall, who we beat out in the Stanley Cup Finals. Michael Matheson, former Jet. Oh my goodness, so many names, so many guys that we could be mentioning that I'm, skipping out on for, time's sake. Jimmy Oleksiak, Logan O'Connor, former Winnipeg Jet as well here. And that's going to do it for this free agency class. Let's take a look at the goaltenders here. Let's see, Hellebuck. He calls it a career in free agency. And what a career it was. He played, how many games did he play? Hang on. He played 857 games, all with the Winnipeg Jets. He had 464 wins, 284 losses, 76 overtime losses, 49 shutouts, a 913 save percentage, a 2.76 goals against average. But that's not it, boys. He also had a Vezina with us. He had a Vezina without us in the real world. So this man, he is an incredible franchise goalie at the age of 38. Hellebuck, we love you. You're always welcome in the building whenever you want to show up. You are more than welcome to come by, swing by, say what's up to the boys, and we love you. We wish you all the best in your retirement. All right, after Hellebuck, we've got John Gibson here, 350 wins, 300 losses, 92 overtime losses, 910 save percentage, 2.91 goals against average. Very good career for John Gibson. Was he stuck in Anaheim his entire career? Yeah, he was. Yikes, that's tough, because Anaheim, they were not a great team, were they? Did he play? He barely played any playoff games, man. Barely played any playoff games. In year 1, he played 5. In year 2, he played 22. That's great. But he only played 71 total playoff games. That's pretty tough from him. And he hasn't played since 2029, where he only stopped 3 shots. So tough to see, man. He never got his ring. He was stuck in Anaheim his entire career. But still, he made a pretty penny. And he had 350 wins, which is great career for him. Elvis Merzlikins now, 260 wins, 227 losses, 69 overtime losses, 904 save percentage, 3.19 goals against average. Fair enough. Martin Jones is here. Jack Campbell, he wasn't on the Edmonton roster. Anton Forsberg, Sens legend Anton Forsberg. Phoenix Copley, Kevin Lankinen, Cal Peterson, Colin Delia, Jonas Johansson, Adam Werner, and that's it for goalies. Okay, cool. So we're going to be missing, obviously, Hellebuck in the locker room. Man, and, Scheifele goes out as well. He wasn't on our roster this year, but still. Crazy to think. the two guys who we built this series around, essentially, they both retire in the same year as each other. They're both 38 years old as well, right? Yeah, they're both 38. So congratulations to both of them. We hope you guys have a good retirement. Straight up, just like that. And no, okay, I was thinking about it, but Mark Scheifele, he is not a coach, nor is Connor Hellebuck. Maybe a scout, but either way. Coach retirements. Do we have any retirements here in Winnipeg? No, we do not. Okay, cool. So I don't really have to make any of those changes. That's nice to see. Draft interviews. Just continue simming. Pro Scout on the line. Whatever. Don't care about it. Here is the NHL entry draft, which obviously we will not be doing in this episode. The awards. Let's take a look. Winnipeg, we've got that Stanley Cup for the second time in 4 years, boys. That's beautiful to see. Not a dynasty, but dynasty in this NHL is incredibly difficult to do. We were also the President's Trophy winners, which has not happened in the last 5 years. At least I wish I could see like the last 10 years, the last 20 years, whatever. But of course, I can't do that because EA, It was us in Florida in the finals. We ended up winning that one. We played the Art Ross winner in the Western Conference Finals, Leon Draisaitl. He also won the Hart. The Norris went to Cale Makar for the second time in as many years. That's the third time in 5 years also. I could take a look at that. The Lady Byng goes to Connor McDavid. Fair enough. The Calder goes to Vasanar. We played him in the round 2 of the playoffs. The Conn Smythe. That's lovely. So Cole Perfetti got a Conn Smythe. Josh Morrissey got a Conn Smythe. Beautiful stuff. Igor Shesterkin wins the Vezina. The Jennings also goes to Shesterkin. The Bill Masterton goes to Stützle, but not Tim Stützle. Jack Adams goes to Olchuk. Kenny Olchuk? I don't know. Selke goes to Jack Hughes for the second time in a row. Wow. Interesting. We've had some interesting Selke winners. Usually it's always a Ryan O'Reilly or Barkov or, somebody like that. But Jack Hughes has won it for the second time in as many years. Before that, it was Jean-Gabriel Pajot. So very interesting Selke winners. I'm not sure how the game determines that either, but whatever. Ted Lindsay goes to Draisaitl as well, and then the Maurice Richard goes to Mikko Rantanen. So that's the crazy thing, right? We don't have any of those insane individual awards people. Did we win any trophies here in the AHL? I don't think so. Probably not, right? Yeah, no. Okay. We don't have any of those crazy point getters, insane goal scorers, anybody like that, but we have a bunch of depth on this team, right? And that's where we really strive the most, is that every single player on this team can get points. All three, our top 3 lines definitely, and then even guys on the 4th line can chip in every once in a while. Wyatt Johnston especially, who he had a couple of big goals in the playoffs. Let me just take a look. I'm sure he had like 5 or 6 goals, probably. I mean, Morrissey with 30 points. Joel Shepherd did not. Yeah, Morrissey, Kyle Connor, Matt Svensson with that crazy last game. He also picks up some X factors. We'll be taking a look at all that stuff in a second. Cole Perfetti, Ehlers, Sam Kennedy with 19 and 23, Melvin Barker with 10 goals, Elliot Patrick with 8 goals, Corbin Mills. Wow, Corbin Mills on the first page of our point getters. That's nice to see. Wyatt Johnston, yeah, he had 7 goals, 10 points in 23 games. That is a playoff performer if I've ever seen it, man. Wow, Zach Werenski is here as well, 10 points, 17 games. We were lucky to have a pretty healthy season as well, which is beautiful. Beautiful. And then in goal, I can't say anything bad about this guy. He had some shaky moments, but in the Stanley Cup Finals, he was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic. He gets a shutout in the playoff clinching game as well, the Stanley Cup clinching game. So I'm not going to say anything bad about him. Those numbers are not exactly where you'd want them to be for a franchise goalie, for a goalie that's going to win you many Stanley Cups, but he won us one. I think we'll probably keep him on for next year, but, hey, he did his job. He made some big saves when it mattered. There were a couple of times we were, like, up. I think there was a time I'm distinctly remembering, maybe it was against either Nashville or Edmonton. We were up, like, 5-2 going into the third period. He allows 2 goals, but then he shuts it down for the rest of the period, right? Doesn't allow that third goal. And that's all that matters. He gave us a chance to win, and we definitely thank him for that. Let's look around the entire league now in the playoffs. Who had the most points? Morrissey, but then Matthew Tkachuk had 29 in one less game played. Kyle Connor, Barkov, Svensson, Lundell. I wish I could filter out my players because we just took a look at them. There's Cole Perfetti. Now, Connor McDavid had 20 points in 15 games. That's a great pace for the EA simulation here. Draisaitl on 19 points in 15 games. Crazy stuff. All our guys, we know about them. Aaron Ekblad, 18 and 22. Yeah, Barabanov, 17 points in 16 games. Josh Norris, wow, 17 points in 17 games. Tommy Tervanen, this guy, he was tormenting us with those assists. He has 17 assists in 14 games. No goals, but 17 assists is nuts. Bouchard now, we saw him as well. Forsberg, 16 and 14. Adam Fox with 16 and 17. Nick Suzuki, 15 points in 10 games. Nick Suzuki always simulates so well. Fabian Zetterlund, Corbin Mills, Grigory Denisenko in Carolina. And what's his overall? Like 83, yeah. Grigory Denisenko, I'm telling you, every time I see that name, I'm always like, this guy's a crazy offensive performer. Look at his puck skills, 4.5 star. Everything else is like 2 stars, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he's a good shooter as well, and he's a good skater. Yeah, Lafreniere is 13 and 17, 86 overall. That's probably about where Lafreniere will get. That's probably 86 overall. I feel like that's a pretty good place for Lafreniere. He had a great year this year for the Rangers, but he's not exactly. Oh, that's Leo Carlson. I thought that was going to be Liam Carlson. But yeah, Lafreniere, he's maybe not that franchise player everybody's thinking of, but he's a great scorer, and I don't think he's a bust. I know a lot of people are saying he's a bust, but to each their own, I suppose. Carter Verhaeghe is here, Trevor Zegras is here, Clark Caswell. Let's take a look at, because we know our buddies over here in Buffalo, they were out in the first round in 7 games. Where is Gabriel Velarde now? I mean, there's no debate now. All the trades that we made we've won. We've won a cup. So oh my goodness, yikes. Velarde, who's usually a pretty decent playoff performer, that's tough. 7 games, no points, and he's a 0 at least, but yeah, that's pretty rough for him. He also dropped an overall. But yeah, there's no debating it now. Our moves that we made over the offseason, they were the right ones, because we've got Lord Stanley on our shoulders, in our hands. We can raise that up to the sky and be proud that we were on that ice there, and we dominated as well. So that's nice to see. I mean, Seattle kind of got rolled over, but did Liam Carlson get any points or no? Probably not, huh? My assumption is not. I mean, if Roger McQueen's only getting 1 point, he's a 91 overall. He's only getting 1 point. They got absolutely rolled by Edmonton. Liam Carlson, nothing, -3. Yeah, tough to see for him. Okay, should we take a look at let's take a look at the playoff tree to see exactly what happened here. Obviously, we know our path, and we also know Florida's path because we took a look at it before the series, I think. But let's just a quick look at this if you wanted to see it. I mean, yeah, Seattle got rolled. Any other sweeps here? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Tampa also got smoked by Carolina. Boston got smoked by Montreal. But both of those teams went on to lose. So, the sweep doesn't really mean the entire world. Same thing with Edmonton, who swept Seattle and then got beat by us in the Western Conference Finals. So, a fantastic series, or a fantastic playoff run for us. Don't worry, boys. The series is not going anywhere. We're still gonna play for a couple more seasons here. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but maybe I don't know. We'll see. Either way, let's take a look at the draft class now, because there's always something that we got to look at. Now, we just won the Stanley Cup, and we don't have a first round pick. So there's some guys here, of course, that we would like to get, but we're probably not going to be trading up for them because we don't have much cap space. Or no, we have cap space. We don't have much trade value, really. And the guys that do have trade value, I'm not interested in trading. So this guy, low elite, he's 3 years away. He's at number 28. He could be something. Who else is out here? Yeah, look at this. All these medium top 9 forwards. Okay, then we get to a power forward, Grossman, 2 years away. Medium top 6, good goal scorer, 17 years old. That could be something for the future. And he's a power forward. Power forwards, we know. We saw it with Jaden Allman. We saw it with Kamitsky. They can really get some goals. And defensive defenseman out here. This guy was somebody no, it wasn't him. Hang on. Where was it? There's a couple of guys in the second round who I'm somewhat interested in. Here we go. Jesus Elliott. Look at that name. And he's medium elite. Look at that name. I'm going to pin him right now. Medium elite, two-way forward. Love it. There's also Nicholas Boyd, defensive defenseman, Cycle Pinch. This would be the perfect guy to play with, really anybody. I guess now that we don't have Liam Carlson, we kind of need an offensive defenseman because we already have Joel Shepard up there, but still, low elite player. We can pin him for the second round. Medium elite. Now, this is another guy here. 5 years away, but medium elite playmaker. Yeah, that's another pin for sure, and we'll take a look at him in the comments or whatever you guys say. Goalies and stuff. Yeah, there's goalies here that I can pin and things like that. Now, Looking depth-wise, yeah, we're in the third round now. Let's just look at potential-wise, because there's a couple of interesting, or there's one guy specifically who I'm thinking of. So we have a goalie here, we have a sniper here. Maybe I'll unpin this goalie up top, Carpenter, and we'll go with oh my gosh, what a name, Novoseltsev. Yeah, maybe him, and then Solomon Piet, where is he from? He's from Canada, eh? He's in the QMJHL. Solomon Piat. I don't know. He's a sniper though, right wing sniper. Same thing as Sam Kennedy, medium elite player. He's 5 years away. Yeah, a lot of medium elite, 5 years away type guys. We can probably pick up 2 of these 4 that we have pinned. So, say we want Jesus, the center two-way forward, and we want one of these two, Piat maybe. Maybe we go with Jesus and Piat, or we could go with Erzberg and Novoseltsev. I'm not sure, but I'm more inclined for one guy out of these two, either Piat or Novoseltsev, and then one guy out of either Erzberg or Elliott, because we have a second. I don't know if we have a third, but I can trade up for a third, but I'm not sure if I can trade up for 2 seconds and 2/3 and a fourth here in Ariel Gentil, who is a offensive defenseman. He is shoot pinch, but he's medium elite and he's an offensive defenseman, so maybe he can grow. Then we have another couple of goalies here, so maybe I can take these guys a bit later, I suppose. Instead of Novseltsev, I can take these two guys. Alexei Semin. What the heck? It's just straight up Alexei Semin? That was his name. Wasn't that his name? I don't know if that was his name. Either way, then we have some low elite players. I'll give you guys a look. A two-way forward, 3 years away. This guy is a potential defenseman. He's 4 years away. Cycle pinch, low elite. This guy is 3 years away. Potential defenseman as well, low elite. So some more players here. But then this guy is somebody who I wanted to pin, because look at this. Low elite. He's going 234th. So easy second round pickup. And look at this. He's 2 years away. What the heck? When do you see that? You never ever see players like this in the 7th round, 2 years away. These guys are always 5 years away. There was 48 overall. But if he's 2 years away, I'm definitely picking him up. Sniper as well, right wing. Even though he's 19, doesn't matter. He's going to be like a 65, maybe a 70 overall at 207 or at 234. Yeah, that's an easy pickup for me. The rest of the draft is whatever. We can figure it out as we go. Taking a look now at let's do contracts. We showed you guys the contracts a little bit here at the start of the episode, but now Werenski has dropped to an 88 overall. He wants less money, 10 mil for 1 year. Yeah, that's a bit more reasonable for him. Does he still have his X factors? He does still have his X factors. He still has his 5-star defense, his 4-star skating. Okay, 89 offensive awareness. Yeah, he's still very serviceable. 88 overall is still quite good. Nikolai Ehlers now, 2 years, 5.825 mil. Again, somebody that we can consider, but we could also, drop both of these guys and take a look at free agency, right? Tomasino, he's a young player. Probably want to bring him back. He wants 3 years, 5.6. A bit steep, but we could do it. For a third liner especially, it's quite steep, but we could do it. We have the cap space for it. Klim Kostin probably not going to be coming in. McConnell Barker, this was a waiver pickup. He could easily be a depth player for us. Alexei Protas might not be coming back at 1.7 as an 80 or 79 overall. He's a power forward though, not bad. His defense is quite low, but his physical is up there. He's pretty rough everywhere else though. 82 offensive awareness, okay shot power, bad discipline, okay poise, decent skater. Yeah, I mean he's okay. But again, these guys are all just depth guys. They're not going to be taking too much, right? Sean Walker was a great pickup for us, but again, I don't know if he's going to be coming back as he's 36. Won a cup with us, but he might be going to free agency. The big question is, do we re-sign Jesper Wallstedt? Actually, we are going to re-sign Jesper Wallstedt, but for how long and how much money? I'm thinking like 3 years. 3 years brings him to 31 years old. I definitely don't want to go 6 years because then he's 34. He's regressing already. I would say 3 years. He's 31. He's still in his prime. He can get another contract if he's doing well. We're not married to him, right? I think 3 years at whatever, 6.5, 6 mil, whatever it is. I think that works for me. Who else do we have? We have Riley in the system, 58 overall. He's not really growing too much, unfortunately. Okay, and that looks like everything. Let's just check the system. Let's check all of our potential guys. So we have Rocky, who's going to come into the AHL next season. We've got Hines, who's now basically too old to grow. We've got the Targaryen Karlathi, who is growing a little bit nicely here, 72 overall at 22. We'll get him some first-line time in the AHL next year. Hopefully he can grow from that. Eric Dowd, 71, 22. Hatcher, 67, 21, a bit low. Brookbank, 60 at 18 years old this seems fine. Seems on pace for potentially being an 80 overall. Same thing with low. Then we've got to the medium elite guys. Alexei Kinnis, 67 overall at 20 years old. It's okay, but it's not great by any means. Then we have Simon Kreitzer, who's 76 overall, 21 years old. There we go. There's some growth from Stefan Kreitzer, excuse me. Stefan Kreitzer. There's some growth from him. He's a right defenseman as well. He's got pinch shoot, which unfortunately does not really match up with the rest of our team, but hey, what the heck? He might grow to 78. We can take a look at him in the preseason and things like that. And those are basically our prospects in the system. Okay, looks good. We've shown you contracts. We've showed you awards. I've showed you the draft. I guess the only thing now to do is look at the progress reports. And Matt Svensson, baby, Matt Svensson, after a fantastic regular season. Not only does he get X factors and jump up to an 88, but his potential is now medium elite at 21. So this guy can still grow. Oh my gosh, he might have to be playing first line time next year. He's definitely playing first line power play and second line time at the bare minimum. Holy smokes. What is his defense looking like? Defense. His defense went up as well. So that 5-star defense, man. He's going to be a penalty killer for us probably as well. That's great to see. Nikolai Ehlers, he's probably growing statistically, dropping off naturally. Yeah. So again, another decision to be made about Nikolai Ehlers. This year, his statistical growth allowed him to, I guess, go up slightly. But, next year, maybe he won't be the same type of player. Maybe he'll drop throughout the offseason when he's not getting statistical growth. So something to consider there. Elliot Patrick, our second-line center now. Basically, he's up to an 85 overall. No X factors for him, but 85 overall is great. He didn't go up in the face-off category. I was hoping he did, but he did not. His defense, though, went up quite a bit, like that. And his speed goes up to 90. Nice. What about his shot? His shot is 94s, 93s. Great to see, Elliot. Great to see. Keep training over the offseason. Train your face-offs because you're going to be in that dot every single night. Now, Josh Morrissey, he grows to 89 overall, but again, his age will drop him down. He's still on contract for 2 more years, I think, after this one. But look at his defense. Yeah, shot blocking, stick checking went down a lot, but his defensive awareness is still high up there. But yeah, Josh Morrissey, he's going to be dropping off here. His physical and his defense are going to be dropping off, but his offense still staying at that high caliber that we're used to. Now, Kyle Connor, 34 years of age. He's, oh my gosh, yikes. He's dropping off a cliff, actually. And it's his puck skills that are dropping off as well, which is not great to see. But his offensive awareness went up by 1 in total. His shot power is dropping, but his accuracy went up. His defense is still okay. His speed, though, yeah, his speed. That's tough. Okay. 88 overall, though, still serviceable. Klim Kostin went up a bunch for some reason, even though he barely played with us, and we'll take it. Cole Perfetti, now 89 overall. He's still growing statistically. Hasn't been going to drop off yet. He's only 29 years old, so let's make sure that stays. Oh, my. What the heck? What the heck? Melvin Barker. He had a rough season for sure, but he still had 25 goals. I didn't think he was going to drop off like this. So he drops to an 83 overall. Hang on. He drops to an 83 overall. Why? His statistical growth goes up. More poise, better offensive awareness, better discipline, better shooter, good defensive awareness and stuff. So where did he drop? Like, I wish it would show me where he dropped and why. He was a plus 29. Sure, he only had like 60, or no, yeah, he had 60 points instead of 73. He's a plus 29. I mean, it wasn't a good year for sure. It was a drop-off year, but he drops to an 83? That seems a bit insane to me, but whatever. Dylan Holloway now, he's losing statistical growth, so Dylan Holloway, I'm not sure if we're going to bring him back. Shane Pinto, on the other hand, is growing statistically. Nice to see. Aiden Stempniak. Whoa, Aiden Stempniak's up to a medium elite player. Oh my goodness. Okay, medium elite for Aiden Stempniak. He's getting some natural growth. Oh man. Okay, so Stempniak, we might have to be playing him in the top 4 next year. I don't know. Zach Werenski, he has not begun to drop off naturally. Okay, even though he's an 88 and he started the season as a 90. Sure, that makes sense. Corbin Mills. Oh, Corbin Mills dropped. Wasn't he 85 overall? Corbin Mills dropped despite playing first-line time and, wow, in the playoffs. Despite being our first-line right defenseman of the playoffs, he drops 1 overall, I think. I could be wrong on that, but I think he was an 85 overall. Protas, he also dropped. Yeah, all these fourth line guys are dropping a little bit. Bryce McConnell Barker actually grew in the AHL, so nice to see. Wyatt Johnston, he should have grown. Wyatt Johnston had a great year. He should have grown, man. -1 offensive awareness, not great. -1 defensive awareness as well. But I thought he had a pretty decent year. I mean, maybe the regular season was not great, but the playoff stats. Look, he had 7 goals and 10 points in 23 games. That's like what is that? That's probably like a 30-point pace. So I don't know, man. That just doesn't make sense to me. Sam Kennedy, not much growth from him. A little bit of statistical poise growth, or sorry, natural growth. But yeah, not much from him. Although he did get 2 more X factors. Somehow that doesn't equate to growth. But what the heck? Jesper Wallstedt didn't grow. Neither did Philip Tomasino, Vinny, Oskari Salminen. Okay, fair enough. So all these guys out here, we get to see the progress reports. Some people growing, some people not growing. Very interested in what's his name, Matt Svensson, and Elliot Patrick to be tied together. Unfortunate about Melvin Barker, but I think we still have to give him a bit of a shot because, I mean, after a 70-point season in his second year, like, we definitely know that he can play with the big boys, right? So I think we gotta keep faith in him. We still had a great year. Obviously we had a great year, but he still had a decent season. So, I'm not ready to give up on Melvin Barker quite yet, okay? But boys, that was a long one, and that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are doing with the Stanley Cup, huh? How about that? And I hope you guys had a great time watching this. It's a long one. It's a marathon, so strap in. Take it in some segments, all that stuff. I might still put a black screen just to fool some people, huh? How about that? But either way, new videos come out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I hope you guys had a fantastic time watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week. It's summertime. Go out and enjoy the nice weather if you have it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.